Good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Adam.
How you doing, Sean? Good to see you.
Nice to see you. Lovely to see all of you fabulous gardening friends out there as well. My name's Sean Ryan. This is Adam Woolcott. Matt's doing all the technical things today, and we are going to be live for the next 3 hours. And, oh, sorry, 2.5, isn't it? Sorry. Yes, I'd like to be live for 3 hours, but no, it's till 12 o'clock today. And we have got some wonderful deals for you, actually. The favourites table over there, we've got the world's first...
Yes, pink.
Pink.
Agapanthus.
Agapanthus.
Yes.
Yeah, well, the first one we've had, I should say, that is pink. That was the bestseller on Thursday. We have got a Rose of the Week that's stunning, isn't it?
It is. And we've also got an amazing pansy as well, Top Wave down here, that can flower for 10 months. 10 months. And
that is a UK exclusive with YouGarden. Not only will it flower all through the winter for 10 months, it produces full-sized trailing pansies. We've never, ever had that before. It's a UK exclusive. And then lots of other surprises along the way. Right, we would love you to be part of the live stream, wouldn't we? Part of the show.
Absolutely. Send us your pics, send us your comments and questions. We love to be nosy, so if you can send us pics of your garden, what's done well, what's doing well, what you're up to, fantastic.
Well, Neil is in, Grimmy, Anne, Verna, Mauricia, Julia, so Luke's there. Morning Luke. So yeah, anything you want to ask, if you just want to say hi, we would love to hear from you. But also, as Adam said, send in your pictures, ygtv@yougarden.com. Now, you may be new to the live stream. You may have never watched one before. There are a few things you need to know. On the screen there is an offer code, which is YGTV3425. That will give you free postage on all orders from the show, but also it unlocks other extra promotions. It's really important. That code changes every week. It is YGTV3425. That is today's code. You need to use that to save loads of money. There's also going to be two prices on the screen, isn't there, Adam?
There are actually, because you can get a club price or you can get an ordinary price. So join the club. If you join the club, you can get 15% discount on kind of most of our plants and accessories. If you want to go even further and you want to sort of perhaps buy some garden furniture, you might want to buy a lawnmower, you can get 7.5%. And if you go onto the auto renewal, it will stay the same price forever. So basically it was £20, it's now £10 a year. If you make sure it renews every time, 10 years, 15 years down the line, you'll still be paying that. So you're going to get that extra 15% off every time, on top of really, really fantastic deals as well. And when you actually sort of put that in, the code in, and you've got that discount as well, it's crazy how much you can save. So
yes, you can buy lots of plants today, but you won't be spending a lot of money. We have got the details of our compost on the screen. That is always the best seller. It's 125. We're doing 100 litres, and if you are a club member, as you'll know, you'll get that delivered for $21.23. No postage to pay as well. But we are going to start in the middle here, because one of the most popular plants this week has been the Fatsia japonica spider's web, and the club price for this one is a mere £12.74. I mean, it's a fun, and that's delivered free as well.
And look how beautiful that looks there, Sean. Just sitting there. I mean, there's one word that comes to mind straight away for that plant for me: elegant. So elegant. I mean, look at the beautiful variegation on that foliage. And this will grow in sun, it will grow in shade. It's good for clay soils. It'll grow on sandy soils. It can get quite tall, but you can prune it. You can grow it in a container if you want. But the good thing about this in particular is it will look this good 6 months from now, in the middle of the winter.
Yeah, totally great.
Yeah.
I've got several of them in my garden, and I think they look really exotic, but they're actually incredibly low maintenance and easy to look after. We do different types of Fatsia japonicas, but I always think the spider's web is one of the most beautiful, as you've said, because of those variegated leaves. No two leaves are the same on this one, are they?
All unique. And I've got two of these. I've got one in a border, and I've got one at the back of a border that faces north. I've got one at the other side of the border that faces south. And all I do find is the one that gets more light has more variegation. The one that's sort of darker has less variegation, but it still has those super glossy leaves. The only thing I've ever found found with these, sometimes if you get a very, very late frost, some of the new leaves can just get a little bit nicked by the frost. But you know what? By the June, July, you don't even see it.
No. You can just nip them off, can't you?
And so many beautiful new leaves come through. And eventually these flower for you. They flower late summer into early autumn. And they have these weird like sort of branches or bracts that come out with these ball-shaped flower heads, loved by the late pollinating insects. And they produce berries as well. But that's a little bit down the line. When they're younger, they don't flower. I mean, and these can get to a couple of 2 or 3 metres tall. And when they get to that size, that's when they can flower.
And Marissa's just asked, does it need to be protected? No. They are fully winter hardy.
Yeah.
And I should say, any plants that we say are fully winter hardy, when you look on our website, they'll have a little snowflake symbol. That means that they've also got a lifetime guarantee. So Marissa, if you buy it today and it died on you in a few years' time, give our customer services a call. We'd give you a free one in its place. All you pay is the postage. So any plant that has that symbol there, Marissa and everyone else, has a lifetime guarantee as well. You will notice the prices on the website are different to our prices. So don't forget, you'll get the lower price when you use a code, which is YGTV 3425.
Are you entering the code at the start or entering a code at the end, man? Which way do you go with it?
I always put the code in right at the beginning.
Right at the beginning.
Yeah, then I get to see what the prices are.
Yeah.
And if you are a club member today, you would save an extra £2.25 on that as well. But I just think they're a really useful plant. And I've actually seen these, I think these are used quite a lot commercially because they actually do really well in pots and they're low maintenance. When I say commercially, a lot of restaurants and pubs that have got outside spaces, you'll often see this plant because it's so low maintenance.
Yeah, well, they just look so high-end, don't
they?
They
do.
They look really elegant. They kind of, they've got that sort of tropical look to them. If you want to create a jungly kind of field garden or a Mediterranean field garden, I mean, you might look at this and there's a similar plant, it's called Aralia, which isn't really frost hardy, but this, I've had mine in the garden for 3 or 4 years. I've not fleeced them, I've not covered them. They've got through all the winters, the last 3 or 4 years, no problem at all. And this year in particular, they've thrown out gorgeous, brand new, really lovely, shiny leaves. And the leaves will get bigger than this eventually. They're about our hand size at the moment, but they can get sort of double to 3 times that size eventually.
It's a spectacular plant, and I would recommend it to pretty much everyone because it's all soil types, as Adam said, even clay soils. I mean, sandy soils, would it struggle a little bit?
Well, you say that. I mean,
yours?
Yeah, because where I'm in Norfolk, we've got very kind of sandy soils there, and it does okay. I mean, the only main thing that we always say about all these plants, especially this year, is to make sure you water it well to get it established, because the drought tolerance kicks in once the plant is established. So once it's established, it'll be fine. But
as Adam said, sun, shade, great in pots, great in the beds and borders. It's an absolute must-have for virtually all gardens and gardeners out there. 510910. Been one of the top sellers this week, and it is down to £14.99 for club members, £12.74. Right, we've got the world's first full-sized trailing pansies for you now, known as Top Wave. We've got, thank you very much, Adam, we've got a UK exclusive on these right now. And you're going to get a pair of pre-planted baskets like this. All you need to do is hang them up for £22.93 for club members. That's about £11.50 a basket.
Which is phenomenal.
Amazing, delivered free.
Yeah, imagine trying to do that yourself. By the time you went out, you got the compost, you got the basket, you got the plants themselves. Factor in your time, all that kind of thing. These are going to be delivered to your door in a box as you see them now, and these are exclusive to us, these Pansy Top Wave. And as Sean said at the top of the show, the difference with these ones is that sort of the core wave type of pansies we've had before are fantastic, but these are full size flower. I mean, you can see there, look at the comparison of that person's hand with the flower there. Beautiful mixed colours, but the crazy thing about these is, I'm going to flip it around the other way, they don't flower for 8 weeks of the year. They don't flower for 8 weeks of the year. So the rest of the year, these can keep flowering, and you just need to do a few things to keep that happening. Deadhead them, which is important. Obviously water them well and feed them. Use our blooming fast. And if you're looking at your garden now, if you've got some very sad brackets hanging up there that have had nothing on for a long time, and I know there's loads all over the place, don't let those brackets be lonely any longer. Get yourself a pair of these, hang them up, and you've got colour from now all the the way through to late spring, even into next summer.
And if your hanging baskets are looking a bit sad now, you know, because it's been a lovely summer, but it has been a bit tough on the old watering front, hasn't it? And if your baskets have dried out, chances are they're looking a bit sad now. They've gone over. These are going to flower from now all the way through to June next year. Amazing value, and it is the world's first. You know, YouGarden have got an exclusive on the top wave variety in the UK, and they'll trail, I would say, 34 centimetres or so.
Definitely.
So big balls of colour. There's about 7 plants in each of the baskets, by the way, and yes, this is what they look like right now. And if you don't want to hang them up as baskets, if you want them as pots, then the clips do come off. So, you know, if you think, I just want those as pots on my little garden steps or on my patio furniture, those clips just come off like so. So, you know, it's up to you. But the value is phenomenal, isn't it? So, working at £11, well, under £11.50 each, and that's a delivered price. And I know you might find in the supermarkets pre-planted pansy baskets, you know, this time of year, but they will not be the top wave variety.
They won't. And the thing is, Sean, the timing of these is superb as well, because if you wait till November to then plant up your winter hanging basket, you might go off to a garden centre and they've kept those pansies in a polytunnel, so they've been a bit sheltered, they've been a bit mollycoddled. So then you plant up that basket, you put the pansies in, and that night in November we get the first -3, -4 frost. Those pansies will be shocked. They'll flower for a week or so, then they'll just stop flowering. Because you're hanging these up now, as the season changes, these pansies will adapt to the change of the season. They will get used to the shortening days, they'll get used to the colder nights, and they'll adapt and keep flowering. They won't get shocked, they won't get arrested, they'll just go with the season.
And I've done that myself. I've sometimes planted up hanging baskets too late, and they've just done nothing as well, because, you know, in November the nights are obviously long, the days are short,
the compost is cold, the roots don't get established.
Whereas,
do they?
You know, these have already had the best start in life possible, and they're just going to continue to get bigger and stronger right the way through the winter for the next 10 months or so. Right, do you know what, Adam? I need to show everyone that pink agapanthus. Don't you think?
Yeah, I mean, I still can't get my head around this, actually. It's weird, I can't. I mean, it's strange because, you know, well, you've been gardening a long time, I've been gardening for 40 years, and there's certain things I never thought I would say. I never thought I'd say, you know, you can get hardy gerberas. I never thought we'd say you can get hardy gardenias, and I didn't particularly think I'd ever be standing here and saying we can get pink agapanthus, but now we can. Agapanthus blush pink. This is beautiful, absolutely beautiful.
I mean, I haven't ordered it yet because I'm placing my order today. Because I do the shows on Thursday as well, I kind of like, sometimes I have a good think about everything. Do you do the same?
I do, yeah.
I mean, I'm definitely going to order them, but in my head, it's like, how many? Because I know my mum wants some. I definitely want some. But I love agapanthus, and we've had some amazing varieties this year, including blackjack, but this is... It's a proper pink, as you were saying.
Yeah,
Adam.
That's the thing, because sometimes, when they come up these new varieties of things, and they call them a particular colour, and it's like you're stretching it a bit, really. Sometimes they say things are blue, and they're not blue, are they? They're purple, they're lilac, they're mauve. But this is definitely pink. And for me, what ultimately I need to do with this pink agapanthus, I need to plant it in a group planting with a clump of white agapanthus and blue agapanthus.
Oh, yeah.
And I want
That's
that.
gonna look amazing.
Yeah, I want that pink, I want that white, and I want that blue.
You're not greedy,
in
are you?
one space. But Sean, I just know that is going to look absolutely fabulous.
Now, the size of the plants right now, I'm not going to lie, they're not huge. They're not. But they are very healthy. They're in 9 centimetre pots. What Adam and I would suggest is you plant all of these 3 together. I'm going to say about a 30 centimetre pot, would you say?
Yeah, cramp them up.
Cram them in.
Don't give them space.
An agapanthus you can leave crammed in a pot for years, and they will absolutely thrive. So 3 of those together. I mean, we've got the helix planters, actually. They could go in one of those, couldn't they?
Definitely. Yeah.
Just keep them in there and they'll get bigger and stronger. This one's fully winter hardy. It just loves full sun. So give it the sunniest spot that you've got in your garden.
Don't feed them, don't mollycoddle them, don't even give them really good compost.
Don't even talk to them, because apparently talking to plants, I was reading, can actually help them, apparently.
Who knows?
Something to do with the vibrations? Yes, it might be a load of old. But anyway...
I know the king always used to talk to his plants. He was a big advocate of talking to plants. Yeah.
But the main thing is, keep them crammed together in a pot, sunny position, and they'll thrive. And you should get those beautiful pink flowers next year. But we will warn you, they have been the best... I think they've been the best-selling product I think it's on the website this week. It's certainly up there in the top 5, but they were our top seller on YGTV on Thursday. Let us know if you bought those.
I've got the afternoon off, Sean. I'm going to order some of those this afternoon. Definitely.
Oh yeah, you've got the afternoon off, haven't you, Adam?
So yeah.
Yes.
Which would be good. So because I said
He
the
has
other day.
worked a lot this week, has Adam, haven't you?
Yeah, but it's been good. It's been enjoyable.
Yeah.
And then I'm back all day tomorrow. But looking forward to it.
I've been at work a little bit, but I've also been trying to sort out the garden and my mum's garden and the pub garden. Right. So Neil, we missed you on Thursday. I know, Neil, you can't join us now on a Thursday, but it's great to have you here on a Sunday. Just leading some of the comments. Marissa, I think we answered that, didn't we, about the castor oil plant? No, it does not need protecting. But yeah, any questions, come through. Right, we're going to move on to a beautiful, absolutely gorgeous Acer. I think one of the prettiest that we do this one, isn't it? It's just divine, isn't it?
It's the colours in there, Sean. It's how finely kind of dissected those leaves are as well. This is what Bex Edwards calls a proper Acer. And you, look at that picture there, that's awesome. This is what they look like on the nursery. And the new growth is the growth that comes through, excuse me, with the most spectacular pink colours, and especially early in the year when they first come into leaf.
Oh, look at that, yeah.
It's just phenomenal. I mean, dark pink, light pink, you've got creams, you've got greens, you've got that wonderful, wonderful variegation on here. And it keeps going all the way through the summer. I mean, the plant we've got in front of us right now, we're coming up towards the end of August, and this plant, the new shoots, are still showing those lovely tones, those lovely pink colours. These are bone hardy, by the way, these plants. They look delicate, but the part of the world they come from Japan, China, that neck of the woods, where they're bitterly cold winters. Much colder than we have here generally, and they will get through. But they even look good in the winter time, because quite often this one has got lovely red stems. So even in the winter, when it's bare, it still looks beautiful with that sun, that winter sun shining through it.
And remember, in autumn, when this is all going to change colour as well.
Yeah, they're chameleons, aren't they, Sean, with these? Because that's the thing. I mean, this one in particular, it never looks the same from one month to another. It's completely changing all the way through the year, from when it first comes into leaf, through midsummer, towards the autumn. Matt just said there, £8.49 for an Acer. And I'll just point out as well, if you've got one of the £5 vouchers, you get it for £3.49.
Yeah. So don't forget, I know if you join the club today, you'll get a 15% discount on this, but also next week, in a week or so, you get sent £20 worth of vouchers through the post, but you may have one of those vouchers already that you could use on this one. Alwyn said hello.
Hi, Alwyn.
She said hello to Sean and Adam and Stu. Actually, it's not Stu in. Stu's not working today. He's had a lot of time off recently, hasn't he?
Well, he's a hard-working man, though.
No, he is. Bless him. Stu's got 2 boys, you see, so he takes a lot of his holiday during the school holidays. But no, it's Matt today who says hello as well. Yes, it's nice to have, we've expanded the team this year, so there's a few more of us, because we are getting very busy on YGTV, and we do the TikTok lives as well. Yes, Neil said 2 great TikToks from you yesterday, Adam.
Oh, thank you.
Yes.
We had a bit of a laugh yesterday, didn't we?
I gather. Yes. I meant to ask you, tell me a little bit later on about these church squirrels that have been talked about.
Do you know what? I don't even know how we got there, to be honest. I was driving home last night thinking, how did we get round to that in the first place? But it was funny, it was a laugh.
We are live on TikTok this afternoon from 1:30 onwards, just to let you know. Right, and we always do different deals, and TikTok is very different from YGTV. You might love TikTok, you might not, but we are there 1:30 this afternoon. It's a bit madder, isn't it?
Oh yeah, it's mad, it's fast, but it's good. It's enjoyable.
It's great. Right, we're going to move on to the most stunning hydrangea next. It's been another big seller this week. It's the Hydrangea Aspera hot chocolate, saving £15 this week on this one. $14.99. The discount club price $12.74. Now I've actually got this one in my garden, Adam. And I have to say, it is looking rather splendid. I mean, the way it was a bit late flowering because I think it had a bit too much shade. But I cut back, there's a big broom that was like kind of overshadowing it. When I chopped that back, it began to bud, it's now in flower. And the delicate pink against the chocolate stems and leaves is spectacular, actually.
Yeah, and the flush of that purple as well, that bluey purple.
Yes, there's like a hue of that. Yeah.
Again, just making that flower head amazing. I mean, every part of this plant is spectacular, from the flower, and then, of course, the flower contrasts fabulously well with that chocolatey coloured foliage. And even the foliage is quite weird because it's sort of one colour on top of the leaf, and then when you flick the leaf over, so when you see this leaf here, for instance, I'll go for this one. So that looks green, doesn't it? But if I flick it over and turn it upside down, underneath it's now purple.
Oh, yeah.
So you've got that weird sort of coloration there. I mean, not many leaves are one colour on top of there, and then, like, there you go. Look, so it goes from there, and then it goes back to green. How amazing is that?
And I was going to say, Adam, I just think if you've already got hydrangeas, this one is just going to really, really enhance your collection. I think hydrangeas look really good grouped together.
Yeah, they do. Yeah.
And this one, now it's going to go quite large if you let it. Can go like 3-4 metres even.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to. Obviously, you can keep it, say, pruned back. But great for the back of a border.
Yeah, or just as a standalone plant in the middle of a lawn, for example, as a specimen plant, if you wanted to. And if you ever want to prune this as well, what you just need to remember about this particular one is this one flowers on older wood. So basically, if you decide to prune it one year, don't prune it any kind of later than about mid-July, because all the new shoots that you then create, they will be your flower for the following year. So just bear that in mind with this one.
Good point.
But for the first 2 or 3 years, don't even worry about pruning this. I mean, all I would do is, for the first 2 or 3 years, is during the winter time when the leaves drop off, if there's any inward-facing branches or sticks or anything rubbing or a bit broken, just thin out and trim those off, and then just leave it. Just forget about it. You know, you don't sweat on this about pruning this one. And even kind of the leaf stalks are fantastic as well, the petioles as they're called, because they've got that lovely reddish colour. So it is one of those plants.
It's lovely.
Yeah, every aspect of this plant, from the leaves to the leaf stems to the flowers to the height to the stature of this is a hydrangea. In fact, I would guess if you got 100 people to walk by this plant and ask each one to name this, I bet very, very few would even say hydrangea.
Well, I put my hands up when I first saw it. I didn't recognise it as a hydrangea. I remember seeing it on the nursery and thinking, oh, what's that? And I was really shocked to find it is a hydrangea, because the foliage looks nothing like a hydrangea. Like all hydrangeas, though, don't let it dry out.
No.
You know, hydrangeas hate being dry, so make sure it's in a nice moist soil, keep it well watered, particularly until it establishes. And I always think hydrangeas do best with morning sun or evening sun.
Yeah, they don't like to be stressed out with full-on, really, really hot midday sun. No. So, yeah, give them kind of relief from that, and they'll thrive.
But I would really add that one to your collection. It is amazing. And so I've got it. I bought it last year, and it's in flower now, and it does look stunning. It's 5-1, 507 for the hydrangea Aspera.
We need
hot chocolate
to see some pictures, Mr. Ryan, of this hydrangea in your garden, please.
Yeah, I know. I should have. I've got it on a video, but I don't think I've got it on a still.
Perhaps for the next YouGarden show, we need to see.
Yes, I agree.
Because
it was late flowering though. It was late flowering, but it does look good now.
Yeah,
it does.
Good,
I will do that.
Good. Yeah, and I haven't got this one, but I need to get this one as well.
Now, Flaming Flag are next. These are your tulips, and these are 20 for $11.99 or $10.19 for club members. We have got quite a few bulbs on the show. I always think with tulips, buy them now, but store them. I don't normally plant mine to end of October, November.
Yeah, that's a good time to do, because if you plant them too early, they can get something called tulip fire, which is a disease that can eventually destroy the bulb. So get them home. If you're going to store them, in a garage, just keep them away from mice. I mean, I don't have mice in my garage, but I know some of you do. So just hang them up somewhere where the mice or the rodents can't get to them, somewhere cool, dark and dry. And they'll quite happily sit in those packets right up until November, even December.
Or you can even store them in a kitchen cupboard, couldn't you?
Exactly. Yeah. As long as it's airy and they get the air around them, they'll be great. But look at these.
I know.
Aren't they beautiful?
They really are. I love the markings, and I love the colour, don't you?
It's just that soft kind of purple, the way it fuses through with those kind of stripes and striations going through the flower.
Yeah, and that lovely... There's a bit of a mauve tone to it as well, isn't there? Purple mauve, just beautiful. And
Oh yeah, Matt's just saying like ice cream. It's like kind of that rippled ice cream,
Oh,
isn't
yes.
it? When you see the rippled ice cream look. It's got that kind of... And I even like just at the base there where you get that little bit of yellow at the base before the actual petals sort of come up through the top.
Now these are, I would say, medium-sized tulips.
Yes, yeah, these are probably going to be kind of about 18 inches, couple of foot kind of tall.
Yeah.
They're going to
So they're not the miniatures.
No,
yeah. You want to really put these in your beds borders or big pots. This is how they arrived, by the way. Last year, just to let you know, there was a bit of a tulip shortage, and all the, I think, the really nice varieties, or those were a little bit unusual, they did sell out really quickly. That's why we have got them now, and so just store them in a cool, dark place and plant them end of October, November time. But there's nothing wrong with getting them now. I mean, we've got the stock in now. We're storing our stock.
We've got it in our cold storage, and these will flower their socks off for you April into May. So that's the time they're going to be flowering. So these will be flowering around. That's the time all the rhododendrons are coming out. The things like the ceanothus, all them kind of things. And that's the thing about planting bulbs, because I absolutely hate autumn. Winter I don't mind quite so much, but autumn I really, really struggle with autumn, especially the first half of it. But what I love is when I go into my garden that time of year, planting the bulbs, it kind of really gives me a lift.
Yeah, I totally agree.
Because I'm looking at these very, well, I'll say it frankly, these very boring, dull kind of looking things called bulbs, and I'm putting them in the ground, and I think to myself, you know what, it might be getting dark now, the leaves might be falling off, but you know what, before you know it, you'll be stepping back out in this garden, you'll be seeing these beautiful bulbs flowering, and it'll be spring again, and it'll be blue skies, and there'll be bees buzzing and birds singing. So that's the lovely thing about bulbs.
I'm totally with Adam.
They give you that promise,
They
don't
do.
they?
They do. And they're so reliable. I'm not being funny, but generally speaking, when you plant a bulb, especially from YouGarden, it is going to flower next year. You know, every single one of these should produce a beautiful tulip. Because the only thing we say is, don't let bulbs ever get waterlogged if they're in pots.
No, especially tulips.
Yeah, they don't want to be waterlogged. They don't want to be sat in too wet a soil. So if you're putting them in pots, just make sure there's good drainage. Right, we are going to move on though to, I was going to say, the most reliable plants that we sell on YouGarden. It's got to be top 3, hasn't it?
How many boxes does this tick?
Oh,
I mean, every box.
Yeah. And by the way, it's also ticking the box today of an amazing price, $10.19 for club members. Masses of you have ordered this week. It's called Nandina Obsessed. So, right, let's just tick off all those boxes, Adam.
So first thing to say is it's evergreen, and it's also ever red. Now, the most vivid red foliage is always the new foliage, and in spring that's when you get these fiery red colours you see here. So this will kind of be March, April, kind of May time. It does have red foliage in the middle of the rest of the year, but it tones down a little bit, so it's evergreen. Once it's established, it's drought tolerant. It's very frost hardy, so it's not going to about -5, -10, -15. It will grow in clay soils, it will grow in sandy soils, it will grow in full sun, it will grow in shade. It will grow in windy situations, it will grow in clay soil, sandy soil, you can grow it in containers, you can grow it in beds and borders. It doesn't need pruning, it doesn't need shaping, it flowers eventually, it has berries, it's compact, it's disease resistant, only gets to about sort of a metre tall eventually, and it just looks fabulous all the year through. I mean, I don't think there's any other accolades or attributes. As Matt said, we're obsessed with it. There's not many other plants where you can tick that many boxes, but with Nandina you can.
Do you know what I'm going to do?
You've got to pick up one.
No, it's not. Oh. It's slightly different variety.
But they're just so easy. I put hundreds of these in customers' gardens over the years, and you just plant them and leave them. I can even think of one garden I go to. These are in solid clay, which is bone dry at the moment. Horrible. It's vile soil, absolutely vile in this garden. And these Nandinas are on a corner. I planted a group of 3 of them, and they look spectacular. And they're in a beautiful sunny position, and they are fiery red pretty much all the year through. I've got one in my own garden that I only planted this year from YouGarden. That's coming on a real treat, looking glorious as well. I've planted similar varieties of these for planting schemes, and they never let you down. They never fail. And the value of this one, I mean, I don't normally do the big value thing, but there's a garden centre near me, probably wouldn't hesitate, one beginning with F, not the D one, because I like that one, would probably charge you anything from $19.99 to $24.99 for a plant that size, that Nandina. Because they are quite slow growing, so it's taken a while for us to get that plant to that size. That plant has had a lot of love, a lot of care, a lot of attention, and to get to you for £10.19 free delivery is absolutely awesome.
But just bear with me at home. Just because I always bang on, Adam, about this.
Oh, I like them ones.
Yeah, it's a slightly different variety of Nandina that I'm going to show you. Can I just mirror this? Is that okay? Oh, hang on, that's the video. Right. Only because I was gone about how these can really, really do well, even in like an urban setting. And this is like a town near I live called Stamford. And look, this little house just on the roadside. Look how well the Nandina does.
Yeah,
and it's back literally on the roadside. So that's a slightly different variety. That's firepower, but it's just the same as the Obsessed in terms of its habitat.
Exactly. I mean, they'll have very similar attributes. But imagine how dry that is, Sean.
I know.
How bone dry.
So that's right on the roadside, basically.
Imagine how poor that soil is there as well, right next to the house, bone dry.
Yeah.
And if you walk past that house in mid-February next year, they look the same.
Yeah, it looks good all year round.
Yeah, it looks brilliant.
It is an amazing plant. What I always say with this one, loads of you I know have got pots and containers. If that is the centrepiece in your container, then all you need to do throughout the year is in summer put southern bedding around it, plant your spring bulbs now around it, winter bedding, but you've got that as the focal point in your pot.
Yeah, forever.
Looking great all year round, forever, pretty much. So they are amazing plants, and I have to say the current stock, these are big for the price. They're really big, aren't they?
Yes, I mean, you walk into some garden centres because that looks like a very stately plant. It looks very elegant. It looks very high end. And a lot of garden centres will prey on you for that, and they'll charge a really. It'll be one of those end of the aisle ones that you walk to and you just see them all laid out, and they'll put it at eye level, and they'll put like a $24.99 or a $29.99 price tag on it, and people will buy it.
Yeah.
But you can get it for £10.19 club price.
That's amazing.
£10.19.
And that's a delivered price.
Delivered. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not being funny, but a lot of other online companies would charge you maybe £5-6 delivery. You will get it delivered absolutely free as long as you use that off code YGTV. It's $34.25
with a lifetime guarantee.
Yeah,
on top.
I know.
Added on.
See, it's good to shop with YouGarden, don't you? Any questions, by the way? If you've got Nandina, we would love to hear from you today. Right. Now, our best-selling product here at YouGarden is actually our premium professional compost. I've been using this for about 20 years, and I can honestly say I have never found a compost better than this. And just to give you perspective, we've got two big nursery sites in Lincolnshire. So we work here in a little place called Gedney, but this is an 11-acre site, but we have got a second site where a lot of our growing is also done. So any plant that we grow on, ready-made hanging baskets, like the top wave ones that we had earlier, all grown in our premium professional compost. And I always think, Adam, if there was a better compost to grow our plants in, we would be using it, wouldn't we?
Well, of course we would, yeah. This is our most 5-star, revered, rated, reviewed, loved.
It's a lot of R's there.
Yeah.
Revered, what did you say?
Revered, rated, reviewed.
Reviewed.
Yeah, it's an alliteration of ours.
Yes.
That one. But people absolutely adore this. You look at the reviews, it's 5-star, 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 5-star. Like Sean, I've used this for years myself, for everything pretty much. My house plants are all in this. I grow my seeds, my cuttings, my plug plants. In fact, this afternoon, from John's front garden, my husband John's front garden, we've transplanted these plants called Veronicastrum because John's front garden's too dry for them. So we're going to put them in the new bit of garden we bought out the back. And I've got 2 bags of this compost that I'm going to dig into the soil before I transplant these Veronicastrums, and that way I know they're just going to zoom away. Within a 10-15 days, if I go to pull those Veronicastrums back out the ground, they'd have already rooted in. They'll be solid rooted in because this compost has given them the moisture, it's given them the nutrients, and it's just created that wonderful structure for that root system to develop.
And I would say pretty much every time you plant something in your garden or in a pot, then use our compost. I do the same on beds and borders. I always line the planting hole with our compost.
Yeah.
It just gets your plants
Every
off
time.
to the best possible start. Now, we are doing 2 50-litre bags. Club members, you save an extra £3.75 every single time you order this, which is amazing. So much money to save. Those hands belong to me. Top tip, we've got a heavy-duty pots, as ever on the show. I always decant the compost in that. It makes it really easy to plant up. But the whole pub garden that I look after in the village always plants up in this compost. My garden, everything pretty much is planted up in this compost. My mum's garden, it is the very best. And if you just look, when you open up a bag of this, and you'll know, all of you regulars that regularly buy this, first of all, the texture is incredible. You've got this light, airy texture. Yep. We are getting busy, by the way. Thank you to everyone for all those orders that are coming in. But it's got this lovely, light, airy texture. And that texture is important. If you ever buy a compost and it's too heavy, sometimes I open up when occasionally I have bought another compost, if it's really heavy and kind of dank, then those roots are not going to stand a chance, are they?
They're not. And another thing is what you don't notice as well, which is great about this compost, is when you open it, it doesn't smell mildewy. It hasn't got that mouldy kind of dank smell to it. It smells fresh. It's a peat reduced compost. It's been peat reduced for a long time, and even some of the peat we have and do still use is from renewable peat created from sphagnum moss.
And I should say, I don't want to go down the whole peat debate, but a lot of coir-based composts have been a bit of a nightmare this year because they've dried out so much, haven't they?
And where does coir come from, Sean?
Coconuts.
It's not down the road, is it?
It's not.
And where are these coconut plantations in the UK?
No, we don't grow coconuts, do we?
We don't, no.
So there's a real debate because, you have got to look at where the coconuts are grown.
India.
Yeah. A long way.
So all that coir has got to be brought all the way around the world. So there's swings and roundabouts to everything.
And you make your own choice, but we have reduced the peat in here, but it's still there to give those plants their amazing support. You've also got things like slow release fertiliser in there. You've got a wetting agent. That means that the compost rehydrates really quickly, which has been brilliant during this hot summer. pH buffer as well.
Yeah, so it's not too acid, it's not too alkaline. And the wetting agent is fantastic because, again, I find with those coir composts, they just do not want to absorb the moisture. It takes forever for them to kind of eventually...
True, especially once they've dried out a couple of times. They just seem like,
I think if you got yourself a glass, if you got 2 identical glass vases and you filled one halfway with ours, one halfway with coir, and then you topped up another quarter with water, it would soak into ours almost instantaneously. With the coir one, the water would go straight to the bottom, and it would sit there, wouldn't it, for a good while before it finally kind of gets taken up by the coir.
So it's got everything to make your plants thrive. The only things we say you don't use it for are your acid-loving plants, things like your camellias, your rhododendrons, your gardenias, but there's not many, is there? And
we do have a version, an acid-loving version of that, this compost for those as well. So we've got it all covered for you.
But obviously we are getting, we're heading towards autumn. There's only a week left in August. And September, October are very, very busy times for our compost, so stock up now. Now, I've also got a brilliant offer on our ornamental spruce bark mulch, which I use an awful lot, actually. And we're going to take you, I mentioned the pub garden that I look after. So, yes, here's a little clip of film just showing how this tidied everything up beautifully. Hello, well this is our YouGarden ornamental spruce bark mulch. It looks gorgeous actually, it's a really, really nice quality, but there are so many uses for this. It's great as a weed suppressant. So if you've got areas in your garden, beds and borders that get lots of weeds, a nice thick layer of this will just suppress those weeds. Also great as a top dressing around pots and containers. That's what I'm going to use it for here. If you've got children's play areas, it makes a nice soft cushion around those play areas, or maybe areas in your garden that you need to walk over. Having this there just makes it a lot safer and a lot easier. So I'm going to use it here. The reason being, I've got the euonymus here. And to be honest, whenever I've tried to plant things around them, they've never done that well. This is just full of roots. It really, really is. So what I'm going to do, because I just don't think it looks very nice. It looks a little bit ugly. I'm just going to do a nice thick layer of this and just see. Oh, yeah, this is going to really work. I'll tell you what, because it's autumn as well, I think that's going to look fun. Also, it is a great duvet. If you've got something that's a little bit tender, something like the anigalis that I had growing here in the summer, it's a tender perennial. So if it needs that extra protection from cold weather, then this would be absolutely superb. That looks so good, doesn't it? Really nice. Do you know what I'm amazed about? So I haven't done as thick a layer as you normally would for some other jobs, but it's amazing how far this has actually gone. And some of our regular YouGarden customers have bought several bags of this. It can really just make the whole garden look so much more neater and tidier. So I've just stood back and had a look at this from a distance. And what really struck me as well is that all the green foliage now really stands out. You've got the contrast of the green with the bark mulch, and I think it looks absolutely fantastic. I'm really pleased with that. I really should have done this many, many years ago. Yeah, just really tidies everything up. Also, Adam, I was just thinking, it's been a very dry summer. Great at keeping the moisture in.
Yeah, definitely. Keeping the moisture in and keeping the weeds at bay as well, which is good. Yeah. And it makes a lovely cover during the winter time, because if you've got really heavy, wet soil, you can walk over this. Yeah. You don't get muddy boots, muddy shoes.
Mud all over your patios. So we've got that just $19.99, $16.99 for club members 100-061. Right, also, don't forget, we've been busy. This is the Fatsia Japonica. Got some amazing deals on the live show today. This is down to $14.99 or $12.74 for club members. Remember, it is evergreen, it is fully winter hardy. It will do well in sun or shade and everything in between. Pretty much all soil types, including clay soil, as long as there's a reasonable amount of drainage. And when mature, it even flowers and produces berries as well. It's a beautiful plant. Both Adam and I have got that in our gardens. It is 510910. Then the world's first full-sized trailing winter pansy. So this is the predecessor of Cool Wave, which is a lovely trailing pansy, but the flowers are smaller. These are full-size flowers. They're going to flower. Well, actually, Adam's saying the only 2 months they don't flower are July and August, so 10 months of flowering. Just keep them well-fed, deadhead them, and you're going to get 10 months of colour. These are all pre-made, so they're all planted up in the purple baskets, ready to hang up at home. 450230. And then we've been really busy this week. In fact, you do need to be a little bit fast for this one, the Agapanthus Blush Pink. It's the first time Adam and I have ever had a pink Agapanthus on the show. How amazing. I mean, if you love your Agapanthus, maybe you've got the blue ones, the purple ones, like the blackjack, or maybe you've even got white. These are the first pink ones that we've ever seen. And we have got them today on a discounted price, down from $38.97 to $24.97, $21.22 for club members. And then a lovely little deal on this beauty, it's the Acer Aoshi, the palmatum there. One of the most stunning coloured acers that you can imagine, because you're going to see creams, you're going to see pinks, you're going to see greens in there as well. Very, very delicate dissected leaves, fully winter hardy, just likes a little bit of shade and protection from wind, but it's an easy one to grow, that one, and it is only £8.49 for club members. 511639. And then a very unusual hydrangea. The flowers look like hydrangea, but the foliage doesn't, because you've got these chocolatey stems, you've got these rich dark leaves on this one, but the most beautiful appearance. Now, it can grow quite big if you wanted it to, so do bear that in mind. It could grow 3, even maybe 4 meters. Obviously, you can contain it, you can control it, but it's going to flower all summer long and give you the most amazing displays. Top tip from Adam, don't forget it flowers on old wood, so don't be hacking it back too much in the springtime. The best time to trim that back is probably July. Just take it back a little bit, but it won't need any pruning for the first few years. And then the most reliable plant that will pretty much thrive anywhere and everywhere. This is Nandina Obsessed. Often known as sacred bamboo, nothing to do with bamboo, by the way, so it's not related, do not worry, it's not going to take over, but it will thrive in all soil types, sun, shade, it is evergreen, changes colour throughout the year, you get flowers, you get berries as well, grows about 1 metre or so. It's an absolute, well, the most reliable, beautiful plant that you could ever have in your garden. But every week, we also have a rose of the week for you. And this is this week's rose. That is like the perfect red rose, isn't it?
It looks like it's made of satin.
It does, doesn't it? It's like, yeah. I mean, look at that against my black. That is like perfect, isn't it?
You're almost like you need to cut that off and just put it in your little pocket there, like a little buttonhole.
Yeah.
It's just look incredible, wouldn't it?
So it's the perfect. Look at that. That is perfection, isn't it?
It is. If you were doing an advertising campaign or something like that, and you wanted the perfect archetypal, pristine rose, you'd go for this one. And what I've enjoyed this week is because Matt and I we selected this one last week to do the video for the Rose of the Week. And what's been nice is to see how that flower bud has opened out over the course of the week. Because when we first got it, the bud was kind of pretty much closed, and then gradually, as time's gone by, it's kind of opened out into this perfect kind of flower.
I mean, that if I was to select a Valentine's rose,
that would be it.
That's it. Long, tall stem, beautiful, perfect, true red. Delicate fragrance, you want to say?
I mean, I won't hoodwink you on that. Yeah, it's not like, in your face. It is a very, very delicate fragrance.
But not everyone likes in your face.
No, but there is a little fragrance there. And it does have a little bit of a strange habit sometimes in that, technically, this is what's known as a hybrid tea rose. So it's like your Valentine's Day roses. You'll get a lovely straight stem and you'll get one flower, but a large flower on top of that stem. Predominantly, that's what this rose is, but sometimes later in summer, it will then have multiple flowers on each stem.
So it becomes like a floribunda.
Yeah, like a floribunda, which is a bit weird. It's a bit sort of Jekyll and Hyde, the kind of way it flowers. It won't always do that, but it's something it can do. Only gets to about 90 centimetres tall, so it's nice and compact. Fabulously healthy, disease-resistant foliage, and a good repeat flowering rose. So it'll keep repeat flowering from June all the way to October. And I mean, I think this is about our 8th, 9th, 10th week, perhaps a bit more, of doing Rose of the Week. I know I say this every time. Every week I say I think this is my favourite one so far. But I just
to be fair, they've all been pretty fabulous.
They have. But just thinking, it kind of, again, if you kind of ask 100 people, to sort of select a classic rose, that I think that would be the kind of rose people would go for.
And again, the value today.
It's nuts.
It really is. I mean, this is what you're going to get. It's already really well established. I'm not being funny, but $13.59 is more of what we call a bare root price. We sell bare root roses in the winter time, and you are literally buying the bare root rose. No soil, no pot. You've got to do the work establishing it. These are already really well established. So $13.59. I always think with roses, when you think of, I know sometimes some of my friends talk about price per wear in terms of clothes. Some of my female friends will say, oh, well, the dress was £200, but I wear it often, so price per wear. But, I sort of think the same with plants sometimes in terms of what this will give you back. You're spending $13.59 today, but that's going to flower for 5 or 6 months of the year, and it's going to do that every single year.
For 10, 20, 30 years.
Yeah, maybe for decades. So, the value is incredible. Whereas, I love summer bedding plants, but you buy them for the summer and then the frosts come and they die and that's it. I still love them, of course I do. But the value in this is phenomenal. And I always think with roses, their flowers are not short-lived. They flower, say, 5 or 6 months. They continue to flower.
What a gift that would make.
Oh yeah.
If you know somebody at the moment who's not feeling good, they might have had a bereavement, they might have not been well recently, various factors. Get them a rose like this. Do you know somebody who's moved into a new property? Have your children, your grandchildren, moved somewhere new, and you want to get them, a gift that is going to keep flowering for year after year after year. It might just be your partner. You might just want to buy your partner this rose. Or perhaps, rather than I know we're not near Valentine's Day, but rather than just spend 20, 30 quid on a bunch of roses every year that are then gone in 4 or 5 days, buy a beautiful red rose, and it could be your forever rose in the garden for both of you. Something like that, for example.
I think it's a great idea. So my water went down the wrong way.
That's horrible when that happens, isn't it?
I was like, But I'm back. The voice is back. Thank you, Adam.
I did that because we go every few Fridays we do this pub quiz with our neighbours across the road, and our lovely neighbour Denise was sitting opposite me, and I did that in the pub, and I took a gulp of a drink, but instantly, without me even having to close my mouth, it was like The Exorcist. It just came straight out and it went all over Denise.
Lovely.
It was like something out of a movie.
Lovely.
And she was just sitting there. It was like, yeah, she forgave me in the end.
Oh, dear.
Yeah. She didn't let me forget for a while, but
luckily mine didn't go over you.
No, you kind of went that way.
Yeah, I did. So apologies at home. Anyway, Pride of England there, 5:30, 7:30, just 13.59. But that price is only till midnight on Wednesday. Now, one of my favourite spring bulbs, I'm sure you're the same, Adam, crocus.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
I mean, you know, you get the snowdrops first of all, don't you, normally January time, shortly followed by the crocus. And I'll give you the details of this because we've got 11.99 for 30 bulbs. And we should point out these are the large flowered mix, bigger flowers, more dramatic.
They are indeed. And I learnt a new phrase yesterday, tummy fizz.
Tummy fizz?
Tummy fizz, I'd never heard of. And these give me tummy fizz. Now, what do I mean? What I mean is when it's late winter, very late winter, late sort of January, February, and then you get those first warm kind of days, and you see crocus, and you see those crocus open, right open, and you see the first little bee buzzing about, and all of a sudden you get that little like tummy fuzz, that little feeling of excitement, a little feeling of elation.
I know what you mean now, Adam. Yes.
And suddenly, you know, you're noticing it's not getting dark till 4:45. You're starting to hear the birds sing. You're noticing the grass is starting to grow back, and all of a sudden it's like, oh, the days aren't getting shorter anymore, they're getting longer. Spring's coming, and then after spring, it's going to be summer. And that's what these crocuses do. They kind of wake you up, they lift you, they kind of give you that burst of excitement and emotion.
I'm very lucky in the village where I live, there are crocus bulbs planted throughout the village in some of the communal areas, and the whole village pretty much are filled with joy and smiles when the crocus come out. You know?
I love it when you see perhaps like a little roundabout area, one of those little triangular bits of grass that they put crocuses in. And so on that warm day, they really pop like this. They really pop open.
And you can plant them like, you know, quite shady areas around trees and things like that.
They are so adaptable, Sean, with these. Because they're short, you can put them in grass, you can put them in pots, containers, beds, borders, rockeries, anywhere you like, basically. And they'll come back year after year. They die down quite quickly after they've flowered.
Yeah, you don't end up with lots of messy leaves, really, do you?
No, exactly. Loved by the early pollinating insects. You've got that wonderful colour mix in here as well. You've got those great big flowers, and these are tough. They're hardy, they're drought tolerant, they're frost tolerant, and eventually they'll multiply and spread, and you'll get more and more of them. And again, that price, I mean, for 30 for £10.19 club discount price, I think that's phenomenal.
Yeah, same here. You might even want to double up on those as well, and don't forget they're going to naturalise. You know, if you leave the crocus in the ground, they come back even bigger and stronger for many years. And they're the one that I do, like, generally speaking, start planting crocus in September. Do you, Adam?
Easily, no problem at all.
You know, these are one of the plants that one of the bulbs that you can plant early. So by the time these arrive, you know, we'll be pretty much into September, won't we?
Well, yeah. What we today, the 24th, I lost track actually this month.
24th, yeah.
24th today. Yes, we've only got another week of August.
So if you want to go for those today, they are the large flowered ones. You get the purples, you get the blues, you get some of the striped ones as well. They're only £10.19 for club members. And then also, just staying with bulbs, we have got this stunning Rembrandt mix next. These are really absolutely gorgeous. When you look at, again, they almost look like hand painted, don't they? Hence the name, I guess.
And this is closest to a Rembrandt I'm ever going to get, to be honest.
Yes.
This collection. But yeah, I've grown these myself. I grew them last year, and they are staggering. That's the word for these, staggering. I mean, just, it's insane. I mean, look at the mix there. Not only the mix of colours, but look at the different kind of flower shapes as well. You've got the ones with the fimbriata edges. You've got the kind of parrot-shaped tulips there. You've got all these beautiful kind of flared colours going up through. You've got the yellows, you've got the reds, you've got the pinks, you've got the whites. Oh my goodness me. I mean, just imagine a huge container of these, or a beautiful big clump of these in your garden, sort of April, May time, flowering away. These are divine. These really float my boat. It's, I mean, my husband John, He adores tulips, but Johnny's very coordinated with his tulips. He'll put a group of 5 white, a group of 5 black ones. I'm like, you know what? I just want a riot of colour. I'm not interested in coordinating or the colour wheel or anything that nonsense. I just want colour. I want boldness. I want brightness. I want sort of a group of tulips that are really going to shout out to me and lift my mood. And I don't think you're going to get more of a riot of colour from tulips and from this Rembrandt mix.
And again, when you get them home, as we keep saying, just store them in a cool, dark place, like a shed, a garage, kitchen cupboard. Just, don't really plant them to the end of October, November time.
But look at that price, Sean. I mean, 25 bulbs for £10.19, 3p&p. I mean, that is insane.
It's pennies a bulb, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, you could double up on these, and and you still, the amount you'd spend is phenomenal.
But don't forget, last year we did say, I'm just warning you, that a lot of the more exotic bulb varieties, those with a bit of an edge, did sell out very, very early on. So, make sure you get hold of those now. Right, we're going to move on to a perennial collection that has gone crazy this week. We call it the Lucky Dip collection. You're going to get 9 perennials. These are the plants that come back every single year. They're in the 9th century pots, so they're already well established, and the club price is $16.99. So that works out, bear in mind that's the delivered price, less than £2 a plant for club members. It's ridiculous.
It's bonkers.
And we love the fact that it's a Lucky Dip because there is an excitement there, but they're all going to be reliable perennials, tried and tested ones. Matt's worked out £1.88 a plant, Adam.
£1.80. I mean, I'll dig out this heuchera, for example. I always like picking this one out. Now, again, I know I say this a lot, but in certain garden centres, you would see a plant this size in a 2-litre pot with a $6.99, $79.9 price tag on it. Even at a church bazaar or a boot sale, somebody would be selling this for £3.
Yeah, we would. We do
£3.50.
Our garden club do a plant sale. We'd easily get £3 for that, easily.
What did you say, Matt? £1.88?
Yeah, £1.88.
£1.88.
And that's a delivered price, no postage. You might get coreopsis.
Isn't that lovely?
It's stunning. We've got a geum there. We've got, you might get like a acanthus.
Yeah, I mean, verbena. You know verbena, Sean. They're close to your heart.
Yeah,
you've got oodles of these in your garden. We've got a Primula vialii, or you get hollyhock.
Yeah.
One of the double ones, Chater's double. I mean, look at that again. I mean, goodness me, most garden centres, that would be $4.99, $5.99 for that plant.
Now, Gillian has just messaged us. Good morning, Gillian. Sorry, Gillian, you made me smile. Okay. Because Gillian said, morning, Sean and Adam. Just got my delivery, 18 Lucky Dip perennials. So I think Gillian must have doubled up on these, Adam.
Why not?
She's put, can't believe the size and quality, better than Christmas Day, opening these little babies. Now, I'm a bit worried about what you've sent me next, Gillian, because you've said, also sent a picture of my top wave panties.
Oh.
I think, my top wave panties, Gillian, eh? I think she meant... which have doubled in size. That worries me.
Yeah. Do you keep them on for 10 months?
No, 2 days of Gillian's panties in a compost and they're doubled in size. Only joking, Gillian. The amount of times I send a message and I look and go, typo, because I really type quickly, and 9 times out of 10 I'll do a little typo, but I just loved yours. So I think Gillian was talking about her top wave pansies, by the way, not panties.
I love that.
Yeah, I do. Can I just share the pictures? Is that okay?
Yeah, I mean, this is a great mix.
So there you go. She's been planting them up.
There they are, look.
Yeah. Like the potting bench, Gillian.
They were the plug ones, weren't they? Oh no, they are.
And then no, these are the ones.
Yeah. Oh goodness me! Wow.
So these are the ones. This is what Gillian received this week. Yeah, you can see there.
They're looking glorious.
They are.
And a good thing is about this mix as well, Sean, because the mix is so diverse, you're going to end up with plants. Some will be good for shade, some will be good for sun, some will flower early in the year, some will flower later in the year.
And some will be fragrant,
Yeah.
So
some will be tall, some will be shorter.
But it is a value mix. You say it's a Lucky Dip. There's a bit of excitement there. That's what Gillian ordered, and she obviously doubled up and got 18 plants. But it makes sense because these are going to be, flowering your garden for many years, if not decades, and they're going to come back every single year. They'll all be winter hardy, I should say, as well.
All individual labelled as well. Got a little QR code on there as well. If you scan that, that will give you some cultural instructions and other bits of helpful info as well. But honestly, I mean, you try and go anywhere. I mean, you go somewhere and try and find a heuchera that size for £1.88. I mean,
honestly, the value is amazing, but loads of you have been placing your orders for these. And as Adam said, if you don't panic and think, oh, I don't know what to do with them, because they've all got the numbers on them. You can, cross-check with our website, you get every bit of information you need. But generally speaking, they're all going to be tried-tested and very, very easy to grow. Right, good morning. If you have just joined us, welcome to, of course, YouGarden TV. If you don't know us, my name's Sean Ryan, known as Sean Ryan, presenter and plant man. This is the award-winning Adam Wilcott. I want to say award-winning 4 gold awards at Chelsea. That's not bad, Adam, is it?
So I'm quite proud of that.
Yeah, I would be.
Yeah.
I would be. Andy's got a few silver gits. Andy's got a couple of silvers that he hates talking about. Silver, that's no good for Adam. But what we would love you to do, if you're new to the show, is join our discount club, because you know what? It's going to save you an absolute fortune. And here are some of the benefits. If you love your garden as much as we love ours, then why not join the YouGarden Discount Club?
The club has been running for many years, and it's where thousands of our customers enjoy a whole host of benefits to ensure that they get the most out of their gardens for less.
Now is a great time to join the YouGarden Discount Club, as the benefits have just got even better. So what do you get when you join the club?
Firstly, our members will get bigger discount rates all year round. So you'll now receive 15% off our range of plants and accessories, and that's on top of any other discounts you might have.
For those bigger investments, such as garden furniture or lawnmowers, for example, you now get 7.5% discount on all of our outdoor living and machinery range.
In addition to the ongoing discounts, you'll also get more voucher value when you join or renew your club membership. We will send you 4 £5 product vouchers, which you can redeem throughout the year against the cost of your orders.
And as a new added benefit, you will now receive 2 free P&P vouchers, which can be redeemed against the cost of your shipping.
Club members get priority access to exclusive offers and brand new products at our best prices.
We'll keep you up to date with fantastic advice and top tips from our grown experts and professional gardeners to make sure that you get the most from your new purchases and existing plants. The best way to join the club is with our auto-renewal subscription. You'll pay £10 per year, then at the end of the year, we will automatically renew your membership to ensure you retain all of your benefits. Plus, the price you pay when you join will never go up for as long as you remain a member. And that's a guarantee.
And remember, when you join the club, you will start saving from the very first order you make, as the discounts will be applied immediately. So with all that the YouGarden Discount Club has to offer, why not join us and start saving today?
We'd love to help you make the most of your garden for less with the YouGarden Discount Club. So it's a brilliant club. It will save you an absolute fortune. For a tenner to join today.
My envelope came the other day, last week.
What, with all your vouchers?
Yeah, my YouGarden envelope.
Yeah, because we've got the auto renewal, and as you saw there, not only will you get all those benefits, but that price is locked in for the rest of your life. Right, we are going to move on now to some more pre-planted baskets. Though these are lovely. These are called the Cool Wave Frost. Again, this is how they arrive. So all planted up. There's about 7 plants in each. They're 25.48. They're beautiful. I love the colours, don't you?
See, I think because you got the perfect T-shirt on for the colour contrast there.
Yeah, there you go.
These, I mean, the colours on these are phenomenal. And what's cheeky about these, I noticed, Sean, is they come out like a little yellowy colour, and then as they mature, then they get these lovely kind of purple little hints come on the flowers there.
And do you know,
beautiful.
Much as I love making up hanging baskets, sometimes just to buy one that's all done for you, you can literally hang that up and the job's done.
Yeah. I mean, when I first left school, one of my first jobs was growing roses, as I've told you before, but also certain times I had to plant up hanging baskets. And for the first 2 or 3, it was fun. But I tell you what, when you got to the 50th or 60th one, it was, this is a bore. This is so damn boring, planting up hanging baskets.
But also, Adam, I think you'd be hard pushed. If you were buying the baskets and the plants and the compost, we're talking about 25.48 for 2 of those. Less than £13 each. Your raw materials would cost close to that. And these are the Cool Wave, so these are the trailing ones. So these are going to cascade and tumble over the sides of the baskets, and they're going to flower how many months, Adam?
Again, 10 months, these
10
ones.
months.
Long flowering period on these. And look at those beautiful colours there as well. Some of them will be that yellowy colour, some will be that kind of purpley colour. You're kind of getting those a wonderful mix of. And look at that.
Oh,
that picture there is the perfect kind of picture for me. Look at their little centres, Sean. Aren't they gorgeous?
Yeah.
Look at the middles.
And
Beautiful.
if your hanging baskets are going over now, there's nothing worse than a tatty hanging basket, is this? So if your summer ones have gone over a bit now, then you can replace them with these, and they're going to flower for 10 months of the year and give you these amazing displays. They're just beautiful, aren't they?
Just deadhead and feed. Deadhead, water and feed. And also, check them during the winter time, because sometimes people think during the winter they're not going to dry out. But they can. Hanging baskets can dry out during the winter, because if you've got them sort of on brackets and the eaves of the house are overhanging, even when it rains, they don't always get wet. So poke your finger in, check if the compost is damp or not. And I mean, you don't need to water them as much, but keep them hydrated. They're flowering now. They're going to keep flowering. The good thing is, the one thing I'm trying to get across to you today is, because these baskets have already been planted, because the plants are already established, as the days get shorter, as the temperatures drop down, these plants will go with the lower temperatures, the shorter days. They'll acclimatise. They'll be used to it. So there's no shocks for them. So they'll keep flowering. If you go out in November and you go and buy a couple of dozen pansies that have been kept in some polytunnel somewhere at a garden centre, and then you put the compost in, you plonk them in, and then we get a really cold night, a -3, -4, they're all going to go into shock. They're just going to sit there.
Yeah, and they'll do nothing
They
till
won't
spring,
root. They'll do nothing till spring. These will just laugh. They'll just laugh at the frost, and they'll just keep going, and they'll keep flowering, because they're established and because they've got their root system going down into the compost already.
So if you want to go for those, then they are known as frost. And then I'm just going to bring Adam the other option, which is the berries and cream.
Which to choose? Which to choose?
Yeah.
That's the thing. I love those.
Yes,
I like all of them.
And this is what you could just see here. Look, they're already beginning to trail.
Yeah, just hanging over the side.
Yeah.
And I love the fact, I know it's a small detail, but they've even coordinated the baskets.
They have.
Which is nice as well.
That's lovely. So again, they are on offer today, saving an extra £10, $25.48. Just had a few people join us in the chat. In fact, Neil's just saying that the club saves you a fortune, and Neil's renews next week. So that's great. You get some more vouchers next week. Neil, lovely to have you back, of course. Oh, bit of advice for Suzanne. Morning, Sean and Adam. I'm after some advice. My gladioli have finished flowering. Do I leave them to die off or cut them back? If so, where do I cut them?
Just cut the actual dead flower off, but leave the rest of it. Leave them all until they've completely died down and gone brown. If you've got really, really well drained soil and a sheltered site, you could probably leave them in, and they'll come back next year. If you've got quite heavy wet soil, once they've completely died down, lift the bulbs or the corms. They're corms, not bulbs, and just store them somewhere frost-free and dry for the winter. And then you can replant them next spring.
But like all bulbs, pretty much, you've got to let the foliage die down naturally.
Completely.
Feeds them.
Yeah.
Just chop off the other flowers. Mine have only just started to flower.
Yeah, well, it's weird, because where I drive through acres and acres and acres of gladiolis that they're growing commercially for cutting.
Cut flowers.
Yeah, and some of them have kind of flowered already. They haven't got to them in time, and they're beautiful.
Yeah. Now we have got a really, really good price. It's almost like a clearance price on our strawberry baskets. Just come and join us over here, because we are, we'll be totally honest, we are clearing the stock of these today, and that's why you're going to get a pair of them for $12.74 for all of you club members. That's working out.
$12.74 for both?
Less than £6.40 basket. And remember, that is a delivered price. So make no bones about it. It's like a clearance price. You're going to get a pair of them delivered free, of course. You've got to use the offer code to get that free delivery, I should say. YGTV 3425. But if you're thinking, hang on, it's too late to get strawberries this year. It's not with these, because these are the Everbearers.
They are, yeah. These are sweet summer. And they keep. So unlike some strawberries have a set season, they'll fruit for 4 or 5 weeks. That's it.
Like the Cambridge favourite.
And they won't fruit till the following year. These will in kind of what's the word I'm trying to think of? In sort of not blushes.
Flourishes?
Flourishes. That's a good word, yeah. In flourishes, they'll keep fruiting for 3 or 4, even 5 months. And we can prove that, because even now, we're on the 24th of August, still got flowers, and you can see little tiny strawberry developing. So if the weather stays fair and quite warm, you could still be possibly picking strawberries from these in September.
Mine, I'll be honest, mine gave me some really good crops. Then they went a little bit dormant for a few weeks, and now they're all in flower again. So
you've got that continuous cycle, haven't you, of flower. There's a strawberry there developing next to you, Sean. So they're all at different stages.
But also, think about this. For £12.74 for club members, you get in the baskets. There are 5 plants in each of these. So you will get some fruit. You should definitely still get fruit this year. But you're going to get crops for the next 4 or 5 years, aren't
easily.
You?
All you've got to do with these at the end of the season is just give them a trim over. So I would say about the end of September, middle of October, just give them a trim over, take them off the hanging baskets, put them down somewhere sheltered near the house, east or west facing. Just let them sit there for the winter. Sort of just, you know, they're frost hardy, but just to give them a little bit of protection. Next spring, bring them back up, put them on the hanging baskets, give them a good water, give them a liquid feed. They'll come back in no time at all, and they'll fruit all over again.
And I'm just thinking back, early on this year, we were selling strawberry runners, where you buy the runners and they look like, I mean, they do great, but they just look like a bunch of dried up roots, almost like aliens. But to get 10 plants, even as a runner, you'd probably be talking this sort of price.
These are the runners here, look.
Yeah. So you've even got baby plants forming here.
Yes, so basically you've got extra plants included already, because you can just root these, just pop these on over a little pot of compost, and they'll root, and you've got more sweet summer strawberries.
And I always leave
already.
mine attached, don't you, until they root?
Yeah, exactly. And then you can sever them from the parent plant, and you've got plants for free, new plants for free.
So once you actually invest in these, you should always have basically strawberries in your garden, because it will produce runners every year that, as Adam says, you can pot up and root, so you've always got new plants growing as well.
In fact, if you... Oh, sorry, Sean, but I was going to say, if you've already got a few empty hanging baskets at home, there's enough runners just on this one plant, and there's 1, 2, 3, 4, I think there's another one around that, 5. You've already got 5 runners on here that you could actually plant up into another hanging basket pretty much straight away.
I mean, the value is amazing. So if you want to just add these to your order, so we're just clearing the stock, got a few too many left, £12.74 for a pair of those, and you will, of course, get free delivery as long as you use that offer code YGTV 3425. Right, we're really busy for the Pansy Top Wave. Now remember, these are the world's first trailing pansy that are full size, which is amazing, isn't it?
It is, yeah. I mean, they're huge, great big flowers on these as well. They only not flower for 8 weeks of the year.
I mean, that's ridiculous, isn't it?
That's the way I like to put it around.
Yeah.
So 10 months of the year they will flower, which is crazy. All you need to do with these, deadhead them, that's important because that will keep them flowering, water them and feed them, especially during the real kind of growing times of the year, not so much in the winter. You could give them a feed perhaps up until about the end of September, give them the last feed by about then, and then you could start feeding again probably end of February, but do check, even during the winter time, that they're moist, that they've not dried out. And just on the picture there, by the way, they've got chains on. Yours will come with sort of plastic hangers. And you can take the hangers off and you can have them as planters. You can sit on a table, or you can put the hangers on and have them as hanging baskets. And they will trail down to about 30 to 40 centimetres. That picture there, Sean, already you cannot see the hanging basket, can you? It's already disappeared under the flower and foliage.
Right, so we've just checking the group chat. So Mauricia has bought the Nandina. I will share all your photos a little bit later as well. Circe has just bought the Pride of England rose. Bargain, she said. Looking for a climbing rose now. So Mauricia, it looks, she said, how do you get the price of the plants on the programme? No P&P to pay. As I got the plant online, paid extra. So what you need to do, Mauricia, and this applies to everybody. So when you order on the live stream, on the show, you have to put, we've got a special offer code, it changes every week. You must add that to your order. So you'll see what it does, it takes the postage off and then it often reduces the price as well. So that is a code that you need to use, Mauricia. So it's very important. I wonder if Mauricia's already placed her order and not used that code then. I mean, what I would say, you could always contact customer services and see if they could sort that out for you, Marissa. But yeah, going forward, and that applies to everybody, there's a special offer code on the screen. That gives you the free postage and unlocks all of the promotions as well. Very important to use that. I once forgot to use it, Adam, and I was gutted. And I'll be honest, it was like about my 6th order that day, and I'd had a glass of wine. It was about 11 o'clock at night. And I did it, I was like, hang on, that's wrong.
Thing is, well, you need to remember, once you put the code in, you just need to tap the apply code bit next to it.
Yeah, you do.
Because it won't apply automatically. So put the number in, then tap that apply code bit, then it's allocated to your order.
So apologies to anyone that, I think Marissa just said, silly me, didn't press the code. Yeah, you've got to press it to activate it. Just always check your orders just before you confirm. Right, so sorry Marissa about that, but hopefully if you contact customer services, I'm sure they would be able to sort that out for you. Right, but if you would like the top weight baskets, remember they're the world's first full-size training pansy. When we say full-size flowers, and we have got a UK exclusive on those with YouGarden. Now, loads of you have been ordering the Nandina Obsessed, which has to be the most reliable plant that we bring you, pretty much. It's definitely up there, isn't it?
It ticks every box.
Yeah.
I'll run through for you. So the first thing to say is it's frost hardy. -5, -10, -15, it'll be fine. Once it's established, it's drought tolerant. It will grow in full sun, it will grow in part sun, it will grow in shade, it will grow in clay soil, it will grow in sandy soil, it will grow in windy locations. You can plant it in the ground, you can plant it in tubs and containers if you want to. It's evergreen, so all the year through it will be covered in foliage, and the new foliage always comes through this lovely reddish colour, especially in the spring. It's compact, it's slow growing, it only gets to about 1 metre tall. It will flower eventually, it will produce berries for you, it doesn't get any pests and diseases, it makes a great specimen plant, it makes a great container plant that can be like the stalwart, if you like, in that container, and then you can just change the seasonal plants around the base of it. What else do I need to say about it, Sean? I can't really think of any other things you can add to that.
Well, I think the only thing I could add is look at the price.
Well, yeah.
$10.19 for club members. That is it, and it's a really big established plant. I'm not being funny. A lot of other online garden retailers would charge you $6.99 to deliver that.
Yeah, and 20 quid, even $24.99.
Yeah.
For that
Actually,
one plant.
I should say our postage is $6.99 on that normally, but again, by using the offer code, you'll get free delivery. So they are amazing, and I just think every single garden should have Nandinas.
And
you need those reliable plants, don't you?
Yeah, they are, and they come back year after year after year after year, and
when you say just come back, they never even die down, do they?
Well, no, that's what I mean. What I mean is they keep going from year to year to year. And I planted various ones in my customers' gardens. I'm just running through my head now in the gardens that I go to when my customers have got these. And I've planted all of them, and I've done nothing to them since. They've just sat there and done their thing without any hassle, any input, apart from obviously in the first season, keep them well watered, get them established. But once they're established, they are really, really drought tolerant, even in the summer we've just had.
Yeah, and one thing I've really realised with gardening, more so than ever actually in the last few years, climate change does mean we get extremes. So if I'd have known we'd have had a really hot, dry summer this year, I would have planted things slightly differently. I'd have had loads more geraniums, for example. Last year was a wet summer. So things like your hydrangeas, they thrived, didn't they? But some of the plants last year just got too wet and didn't do that well. What I'm trying to say is it doesn't matter really what the weather's like, what the summer throws at us, what winters we get. These are, Nandinas will survive down to like ridiculous -20 something, but when it's really hot as well. Those days where it's been 35 degrees or so, and some plants have really struggled just to survive. This doesn't care.
No, because you say if next year it goes the other way and we have a really cool, wet summer,
doesn't matter.
Nandina won't worry. In fact, it'll benefit. It'll just grow a bit more than in the dry summer.
So a bit of a future-proof plant as well, but really busy for that one. If you'd like it, we've got a big price reduction now from £20 to £11.99 or £10.19 for our discount club members. And I'll say it again, just so nobody else forgets, you have to use the off code, which is YGTV 3425, and hit apply. Yes, right. And by the way, I have seen loads of you sent in some pictures and stuff. Anne, Neil, Tony, Hazel, who else we got there? Gillian, Ian, Keith. We will get to those as soon as we can. But we're going to move on to our tulip flaming flag next. More tulips for you. Get 20 of these, $11.99. A beautiful colour, this one, isn't it?
Look at this. And every flower will be individual. Every flower will be unique. And I just like the way that, well, Matt said earlier on, it looks like one of those rippled ice creams, the way the sort of the colour fuses through those petals there. Just imagine these sort of late April, May, when the weather's warming up, looking beautiful in your beds and borders, the bees buzzing round them, or they might be in pots or containers. And tulip flowers last for a long, long time. I had some tulips this year. The petals stayed on for 3 to 4 weeks before they finally dropped, which is just phenomenal. And these will get to about a couple of feet tall, lovely, beautiful, upright stems. You can use these as cut flowers as well if you wanted to, of course. But, you know, I would just enjoy them in the garden because they're just so stunningly gorgeous.
I've been really popular this week, actually. Yeah, I just think there's something very tasteful about those, isn't there? And then also, if you're looking for a hydrangea with a bit of a twist, a little bit of a difference, this is the Inspira Hot Chocolate. So I have got this one in my garden, and I've got it with I think I've got about 9 hydrangeas grouped together. Bit of a random mix, but this one does really stand out, and I think it actually enhances the other hydrangeas around.
You've got a hydrangea ratum.
Is that what it's called?
I just made it up.
I like it now. This one it does stand out because of its unique foliage.
I'll tell you what, those tulips would look nice growing around the base of that, wouldn't they?
Oh, they would, yeah.
Just seeing those two pictures there side by side. Yeah, but this is. I need to see your one, Sean, because I love your garden and I really I love all the plants you grow. So yeah, send us a pic of this.
I'll do a picture for next week.
Because, you know, it's fantastic, this hydrangea. And when you look at it, the plant in front of us right now, you could be forgiven for thinking, oh, they've got a house plant on today. That looks like a really lovely kind of tropical house plant. But this is actually a hydrangea, but it's got this really weird kind of thing, because this leaf here, look, this leaf is green, and then the next minute...
Look at it.
Hang on, let's get round. There you go. Next minute is purple. And that's the great thing about it. So on top, it's green, and then you flick it over. Let's go that. Look at that. So it goes from purple to green. You just can't believe that. How a leaf can be 2 different colours underneath to on top. But that is a good way of reflecting the light back through the leaf. So it gets a double dose of photosynthesising. Gets to about 3 to 4 metres tall, this one, eventually. Bone hardy, by the way. It's not going to worry about the winter time.
You could keep it a lot more contained.
You can, yeah. So just to point out, though, this isn't one of the paniculata types. So this flowers on older wood. So if one year you decide it's too tall, I wouldn't prune it down any later than about probably mid-July, because what you then want is you want lots of new shoots to develop that will then be your flowering wood for the following year. If you chop it down right at the end of the summer or the following spring, you'll lose flowers for a year. But put that out of your mind for the next 3 or 4 years, because you don't even need to think about pruning in the next 3 or 4 years. All I'd suggest is during the winter time when the leaves drop, if there's any little branches that are rubbing or crisscrossing, just remove those. But you could grow this as a specimen hydrangea on its own in the middle of a lawn, perhaps in the middle of a front garden. You could grow it in a very large container, something like one of our 50 litre or 50 centimetre heavy duty pots would be fine for it if you wanted to. But the flowers are phenomenal because they are sort of predominantly pink, but then in the middle, the true flowers are a kind of a pinky blue, pinky purple.
And you're right, they've got a lovely sort of hue.
They have,
It's a stunning hydrangea.
And I think probably a really good one as well for the pollinators, because it's got that kind of look to it.
The pollinators do like it.
Yeah, I can actually imagine that as well. So imagine those sort of pinky blue flower heads contrasting with that chocolate coloured foliage. And even the leaf stems are beautiful and red as well. I'm not sure, does yours change sort of colour much in the autumn, Sean, before it drops, or is it pretty much keeps the same coloured foliage?
No, I don't remember it changing dramatically.
Right. So, but
I mean, the leaves, I think, if I remember rightly, got a little bit lighter, but it wasn't dramatic. No.
But the good thing is, whatever the winter throws at this, it's going to take it, because these are hardy plants. So
it's been one of the most popular hydrangeas this week, one of the most popular plants actually, and it is down from nearly £30, so it's got a really big saving today, down to $14.99, $12.74 for club members. But again, to get those discounts, you do need to use that promotional code YGTV 80 34 25. You can give us a call, of course, or you can order on a website. That's the easiest way, yougarden.com. And then we are going to move on to our beautiful Acer, the Palmatum Ioshi.
I'm going to take that out of the way, and I'm going to get you to stand behind it, because you're just wearing that perfect shirt today, aren't you?
See?
Look at that. You can see it now.
It's true, yeah.
Look how beautifully that contrasts against Sean's dark T-shirt there.
I'm only wearing black because it's a slimming colour, Adam.
Yeah, you ain't got anything to worry about, for goodness sake.
Not in black.
Look at that.
Hey, yeah, you're right. Look at that.
Isn't that lovely?
Yeah.
You can kind of see the... look at that. You can see the sort of those beautifully dissected leaves there. You can see the pinks. You can see the creams. You can see the whites. You can see the greens.
And do you know what I've noticed, Adam? Because it's one of the most stunning Acers that we actually have on the nursery. Now, a lot of supermarkets sell Acers, but I always think the varieties they tend to stock are the more mainstream, slightly, I'm not going to say boring, but do you know what I mean?
The red ones, the green ones.
Yeah. They don't tend to stock the more unusual ones.
No, and also sometimes what I find is they keep them in those like plastic kind of tubes, cellophane kind of tubes, and all the leaves stick to the edge, and they all get a bit,
You're so right.
bit yucky and
Right.
horrible. And, whereas
you're right. They're in like a polythene sleeve a lot.
Yeah,
aren't they?
yeah. And when you take them out, they look a bit. Oh, they look good in the sleeve. You take them out, and they're like, oh, not so good now. Yeah. Whereas ours are growing in a sort of a lovely polytunnel. They're shaded, which, by the way, is the kind of conditions they like when they grow naturally outside.
Yeah. So if you've never grown an Acer, they are easy, as Adam was saying, but just keep. They're like sort of like. They don't like full sun. I always think a full sun, especially with the way the UV rays are nowadays, it can scorch them. I always think morning sun, evening sun, dapple shade is ideal, and just keep them away from wind. They hate the wind, don't they?
They do.
I always think, Adam, that when you look at a plant, you can kind of know what it likes, because if you look, the leaves are very delicate, so you can imagine they're not. These are not big, juicy, fat leaves.
Not like a fatsia leaf,
No, exactly.
And these
so
are...
they need to be a little bit, they're a bit delicate, the leaves, so they don't want strong winds, they don't want strong sun.
And they go so well with certain plants like ferns, for example. Ferns, hostas, things like the corydalis, blue heron, all those kind of cool, damp, sort of loving plants. If you've got one of these, they look lovely near water, by the way.
Yeah, they do.
And if you actually, I'll show you when we come back from the little VT there, but if you plant one of these near a pond or something, sometimes it's nice just to plant it a little bit of an angle, because it just looks a little bit more natural, like it's kind of growing over the stream or growing over the pond. So you could angle it a bit if you wanted to as well. And if you do plant these, if you can find some like old mossy logs or some mossy stones or something, and sort of put them underneath and put them around it, it'll give you that kind of Japanese garden kind of feel, perhaps some nice pebbles. And straight away, you've created a really lovely little kind of micro sort of atmosphere in your garden, just using one of these plants.
I did that in my last garden, and I had it was only a cheap water feature, but I had the Acer surrounding it, and just I put a few rocks and pebbles there and things, and it was lovely. It was lovely.
You get the reflection, don't you, of the leaves in the water.
It was just a lovely tranquil area. So yeah, that is only £8.49. It is one of the more unusual Acers that we bring you, known as Palmatum Ioshi. And then finally, just while we're here, one of the big stories this week here at YouGarden is the pink agapanthus. Masses of you have ordered these. You get 3 of them in the 9cm pots for just $21.22 for club members, $24.97 if you're not a club member. And I mean, Adam, between us, we've got a lot of experience gardening-wise, but you've got a little bit more than me, definitely, but you've never, ever seen a pink agapanthus, have you?
When I first saw this picture at a glance, I thought it was nerines. I thought it was because it looks similar to kind of a nerine flower.
Yes, it does look like a nerine.
And I thought, we're getting to that time of year, aren't we, for nerines to be flowering, September, October. But no, a pink agapanthus. I had to see it to believe it. And as I said to Sean earlier on, I never thought I'd see hardy gerberas and plants like that. But yeah, with modern breeding now, we've got a proper pink, not a kind of a wishy-washy kind of, is it pink, is it kind of not. That is definitely pink. Beautiful. Flowers from midsummer, flowers over a long period of time, sort of 60cm high flower spikes on this as well. Hardy, by the way, and its ideal happy place in the garden, full sun, really well drained, poor soil. By the way, don't give these rich soil, don't put lots of our compost around, don't dig any manure or anything in. And one suggestion I'd even say is, well, if you want to grow them directly in the garden, find yourself an old pot, any old pot you don't care about, an old terracotta pot or something like that. Sort of plant 3 of them in that pot and then plunge the pot in the ground. And that way you'll keep them really, really pot bound, because the more pot bound they are, the more they like to flower. In fact, just outside this door, we've got 3 agapanthus fireworks in 9-centimetre pots, and they've got flower spikes on this big, and they've actually corrupted the shape of the pot they're in. But they love being that pot bound.
They really do.
Yeah, if we took them out of that and then took pity on them and put them in a great big 30-centimetre pot on their own, next year we'd probably get a gorgeous clump of leaves and perhaps no flowers. So treat them mean, keep them keen.
Yeah. And we were saying those 3 pink ones, just plant together in a 30-centimetre pot and they'd be happening there for years. They really would. But they've been really busy. I say it was really exciting for us this week to actually bring you the first pink agapanthus we've ever seen here at YouGarden, which is 561322, but selling really, really quickly. Now, I know a lot of you ordering plants from us today. Thank you so much, by the way. And I promise I will share some of your photos shortly, but don't forget, while you're all ordering, do stock up on your compost. We're always busy for our premium professional compost, but the peak times tend to be sort of February, March, and September, October, and obviously we, next another week and we are into September, because they are the busiest times, aren't they?
And talking of which, actually, if you're interested,
these are nice. Jimmy, you read my mind. I was thinking we should mention those.
Because we've got loads of bulbs. We've got lots of those 3 agapanthus. We'd be quite happy in here.
Yeah, they would.
The helix, this helix planter, forever, basically, because you make them compete with each other.
By the way, £8.48
each.
No, for a pair. I know, £4.24. And I don't think you're going to get that price anywhere else. Seriously. Yeah. I think because YouGarden, we are on various platforms, as you probably know if you follow us around. That is the best price you're going to get on these.
Yeah. UV stable, frost resistant,
great drainage. Yeah.
Not brittle plastic, really strong, tough plastic. Beautifully decorated, elegant, and definitely good for your bulbs, good for your agapanthus, your Ioshi. Acer. That would look awesome nice here, wouldn't it? Those beautiful colours contrasting with this dark colour here. And also, as I say, all those bulbs, you can even do a bit of lasagna planting in this. It's deep enough to do that if you wanted to. So lots of options with these.
So just amazing value, a free delivery as well. So if they go, I do need a few more pots. What I tend to do with my pots is, and I'm lucky because I've got a fairly big garden, so I'm able to move things around, but I have loads of spare pots, and what I tend to do is rotate. So when something's looking great, I'll put it in prime position. When it's gone over, I'll shove it round to the back of the garden, back of the greenhouse where you don't see it. But if you've got extra pots, it does allow you to rotate, and that means you've got to always have beautiful plant displays in your pots. But yeah, an amazing price on those. So you will get a pair. They're 13 inches in terms of diameter. They've got everything you need, as Adam said, frost-proof, UV resistant, great drainage, lightweight, easy to move around, and the price today is £8.48 for club members.
And Sean, a very cheesy segue. If we've got beautiful pots, what do we need to fill them with?
Well, beautiful plants, but compost. Yes.
That was 10 out of 10 for cheese, that one. But we've got a fantastic compost as well.
We have. This is it's our premium professional compost. I know I've banged on about club members a lot today, and I keep quoting the club member price. But for £10, you could join the club today, and every time you buy a compost, you'll save 15% on it, which works out in money, it works out £3.75. Which is a lot to save every single time, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. Because you will use this again and again and again. I mean, I don't know how many bags of this I've used over the years. I've got 2 bags of this at home that I'm going to be diving into this afternoon and using to plant some plants I'm transplanting.
Now, while we're here at the compost, can I share some pictures, Matt? Right, let me get my... I'm going to get the glasses on now. They're a bit... I keep getting fingerprints on them, Adam.
Yeah, you can. You need to get yourself a little box of those lens wipes.
I've got some. I just didn't bring them in. Right, really busy show, so thank you so much. I thought you were going to say I need to get a chain for them.
What was his name on used to do Generation Game? Was it like trying to think now. He used to have
Larry Grayson.
Yes, that's it. Yeah. He used to have a little chain, didn't he?
Yeah, a little chain. Right, let's go through your messages. So Anne has just sent us, she said, hi Sean and Adam, both looking great.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Very kind
Anne.
of you. We try. It takes a lot more effort these days, but we get there in the end.
Well, I always feel I always feel you look more groomed than me, Adam, but...
No, I wouldn't say so.
Hey, I always think you do.
Yeah.
We always wear nice shirts and things.
You've got more lovely hair than me, so, it's swings and roundabouts.
Maybe got more at the front. I'm not sure about the back end. I think we're pretty much on the par there. Right. So Anne said she's brought the pink agapanthus, the ace, and the top weight baskets. Well done. Great choices there, Anne. A couple of years ago, bought the Queen Elizabeth Rose. Earlier this year, I took some cuttings, and a few have taken. Well done. I did have noticed this gorgeous flower. Right. Wow. Look how beautiful that is.
Oh, I'm liking that.
Well, that is pretty perfect, isn't it?
That is the word for that one. That is perfection.
It really is. Thank you, Anne. Neil, what's Neil sent in? Let's have a look. Neil, lovely to have you back this Sunday. That's one of his hanging baskets.
Let's have a look.
Oh. I mean, come on, Neil.
That is looking
pretty
already
impressive, isn't it?
I mean, the basket has almost pretty much disappeared already.
That's looking amazing, Neil.
Yeah, it's great, isn't it? It's nice to keep the colour going,
and
keep the joy
another
going.
one. Let's just look in. And he's got his buddleia. Looking fantastic, Neil.
I can smell that.
Yeah.
I love
Loads of flowers, Neil.
Love the fragrance of
right,
buddleias.
Tony. What's Tony sent us? This photo is especially for you. I know how much you like this plant. The Verbena bonariensis. I mean, to be honest, there's loads of plants I love there, Tony. But yeah, I do love Verbena. And yours are doing fantastic there. And you've got your Nephophia, the red hot pokers there. Mine are just going over actually now. Coreopsis. But yes, I do love Verbena. Thank you so much, Tony. It's one of my absolute favourites. Hazel, she's saying, coming to the end of the season, but still blooming up here in central Scotland. God, the lily's still blooming. Might have all gone over.
Oh, no, it's weird you say that because I watch a programme.
Beautiful.
Is that one of the double lilies
yeah.
as well? Yeah, because
I grew those.
Do you watch Beech Grove?
Oh, you keep telling me to know.
Oh, no, you've got to watch Beech Grove. That's filmed in Scotland. And it's weird because when I watch Beech Grove, it's filmed each week, but sometimes things are still flowering there that down here stopped flowering like 3 or 4 weeks before.
It's amazing what a difference it makes when we live.
Yeah, that's incredible.
That's the strawberry, isn't it?
Oh, no, I think that's the... is that the little apple? What's the little baby apple called? Is it Appletini?
Oh, is it the Appletini?
I think it might be Appletini.
Oh, no, I've zoomed in. It is. Yeah, God, yeah.
I think it's the
Sorry, I didn't look close enough.
Yeah, I think it might be the Appletini.
It is. I'm sure it is. I can tell by the leaves now, yeah. Well done.
I love the colour of those apples.
I know,
as well.
sorry, they were just...
I almost wouldn't want to pick them because they look too decorative.
Right, who else we got? Gillian, what's Gillian saying? We saw Gillian's, didn't we?
I love seeing all the pictures.
He's also sent in the mini apple tree. What if it's the same one? It is. Look.
It's been a bumper year.
It is the Appletini. Yeah.
It's been a crazy bumper year for apples and pears and plums this year.
Right, Keith, morning Sean, Adam and the gang. No pics today. They're busy with the new member of the family.
Oh, congratulations.
Oh. So they've got a new addition. A 4-year-old, saved from the a Rottie.
What, a dog?
Yeah, a dog.
A Rottweiler.
Yeah, sorry. I presume so, yeah. Bless. So he's getting used to the garden. We'll let you off then. Right, John... Oh, Lawrence. Lawrence sent us his Nandina Firepower. It's looking fabulous, Lawrence. John... Oh, sorry, did I not share it? Sorry. There you go. Apologies. There you go.
Wow. You can see what they call it, firepower, can't you?
Look at that.
Look at that.
Looks amazing. And then just quickly, what else we got here? John has put some flowers in his garden.
Oh, eucalyptus.
Wow.
They're good.
They're really... Bit of begonia creeping in as well.
Oh, lovely. Oh, I'm liking that tropical look.
Look at this.
The sweet peas are still looking good. Wow.
They can't still be flowering now.
Yeah, because normally by this time it might go mildewy and kind of give up. And then you just get rid.
I could...
Yes, you can eat the Appletini apples.
Dahlia's there. Gerberas, hardy gerberas.
Oh, that's
nice passiflora.
Yay, look at that.
Yeah.
I love the white ones.
I do.
Look at the centres of them. They're mind-blowing, aren't they? The intricacy of that.
But the white ones are amazing, aren't they?
Hibiscus.
Stunning. That's a beauty, actually.
There's some seriously good plants in that garden going on.
Penny, what's Penny sent in? And then I'll just quickly put this. Oh, my word. That's tall. Look at this, Adam.
Yeah. If Bex could see that, she'd give birth to kittens.
That's a dinner plate. Look, behind it.
Look at that. That's phenomenal.
Yeah, that's definitely a dinner plate dahlia, isn't it? So thank you so much. Don't forget you can still send any more pictures in. Right, now one of the...
we got some. Well, funny enough, we have.
Yeah, one of the best products that we've discovered working here at YouGarden is Strolch. And I have used this on certain plants this year, and it's made the world of difference. I've used it. I had a real problem growing Meconopsis, the Himalayan blue poppy. When I tried previously, I think the poppy's got too dry, and the slugs got them, basically.
Yikes.
This year I got my blue Himalayan poppies to flower, and I think Strolch made the big difference because they didn't dry out and the slugs didn't get them. I used it on my strawberries this year as well. Raspberries.
That's what I've done. I've got a north-facing border at home. I've got ferns, I've got phlox, I've got all these kind of really amazing plants. I've got these beautiful hostas. And this year, I got there early enough. So this year, before everything else grew up around them, I put a huge, great big donut of this around each of the hostas, and they've got all the way through with just the most tiny few little nibbles. That's all. Whereas normally by this time of year, I've just ended up with that central stem, and then those skeletonized, really
they look awful, don't
depressing look, which you just chop off, don't you, in the end. But this year, thanks to Strolch, it's been amazing.
So, if you've never bought Strolch before, one of the benefits that we've just alluded to, it's a real deterrent for slugs and snails. It doesn't kill them, but they just hate the texture of it. So they literally come anywhere near this and decide they don't like the feel of it, and they move on to elsewhere. But also Strolch is a brilliant weed suppressant. So weed the area first, get rid of the weeds, then cover the ground with this, and it is a brilliant weed suppressant. Also enriches soil, improves structure. So it's active for about 2 years. After that, mix it in your beds and borders. It improves structure, particularly for clay soils, of course, as well. Now, one thing this year that it's been really good at doing is keeping the moisture in. So a lot of beds and borders and pots have dried out. This keeps the moisture in. So it's such a good egg. It is such a great all-rounder. It's normally nearly £30. We have got reductions today, $19.99, but the discount price is only $16.99. So remember, retaining moisture, improving structure, great for flowers, shrubs, fruit, veg, you name it. We've got it around lupins there because remember, it's a brilliant slug and snail deterrent. And lupins, again, they're one of the plants. A lot of slugs attack plants. They're like the new growth. So things like, the worst ones, definitely hostas, lupins, Queen Victoria speciosa lobelia, I always think gets annihilated by slugs if you're not careful. Certain fruits and veg, again, I've seen cabbages disappear overnight and lettuces, but and marigolds. But with Strolch, it just has a certain texture that slugs and snails detest. So the moment they feel it, they move away. So we're doing a big bag of that, $16.99. It's a brilliant product, 100,086. And then the most popular product today, and I'm not surprised at all, these are normally £40. They are down to $26.98 for limited time. The club discount price is a mere $22.93. How would you like to be some of the first gardeners in the UK to own this breeding breakthrough? So this is the world's first full-sized winter trailing pansy. The predecessor is the cool wave, lovely but smaller flowers. These are full size. They're going to flower for 10 months of the year. They're going to arrive in flower right now. They're already pre-planted, made up. All you need to do is hang them up. Yours comes with the plastic hooks that go with it, but they will come off if you want to use them as pots as well. The value is amazing. It's the top seller today, and it is the top wave, and that is 450230. That is amazing value, really is. But loads of orders going through. Then, also really popular, the Agapanthus Blush Pink. It's the first time that Adam and I have had a pink Agapanthus on the show. And it is, I mean, I love Agapanthus, but we normally see them in the blues and the purples. And we've had things like Purple Poppin this year. We've had Blackjack. You do sometimes see them in white, but it's the first time we've ever seen a pink Agapanthus. All three of those, they just love a sunny position. Put all three in one of those helix planters or a 30 centimetre pot, and they'll be happy there all their life. 561 322. Then we also brought you the Nandina Obsessed, one of the hardest working plants you'll ever find. Looks good every single day of the year. Changes colour, so quite often in the winter you get more red foliage. The new growth tends to be really colourful as well. Fully winter hardy. I mean, this one will survive extreme temperatures like -20 up to +35 and even beyond. All soil types, sun or shade, needs very little maintenance, very little love, but it just delivers every single day of the year. And that's 510759. Then we have got the hot chocolate. Now, a very unusual hydrangea known as the Aspera hot chocolate. Down to $12.74 for club members today. Beautiful dark leaves, beautiful chocolate-coloured stems with red on the new growth. Flowers all summer long. Adam's top tip, when you prune it, bear in mind it flowers on an old growth. So if you are going to prune it back, don't prune any later than July time, because you want it to still get new growth that then will produce flowers next year. Again, like it's a fairly shady spot, so morning sun, evening sun, and just keep it nice and moist, particularly until it establishes. 511507. And then we've got that lovely Acer known as Ayoshi, which is a really pretty Acer. Stunning colours on this one, pinks, creams, greens, very delicate dissected leaves, very easy to grow, fully winter hardy, but again, keep it out of the wind, so you want a sheltered corner, and don't give it too much sun. Dapple shade is ideal for that one, and that is 511639. And then the rose of the week, I've just been reading, lots of you have ordered this today. It is the pride of England. It is the most beautiful red rose. I mean, it's like perfection itself. And you are going to save £14 today on that one. It's really well established, should arrive in bud or even maybe flower. And that one says only £13.59 for discount club members. 53730, £15.99 if you are not. Just quickly, do not forget to get all of the special prices and the free postage. That's free P&P on all orders and items on the show. What do you need to do, Adam?
You need to enter the code. You need
Which
to enter
code?
the YGTV code.
Yes. There you go, YGTV 3425. And don't forget to press apply. And there you go. Delivery cost zero, and the price has crashed down to $14.99. And actually, if you're a club member, it's saying we're going to save $2.25 off that, Adam.
I can't believe we're up to week 35.
I know.
But yeah, I mean, applying that code is just phenomenal, isn't it? I mean, it changes each week. So each week we could just add the next sort of week number onto it. But you pop that in, it just makes such a huge difference. I mean, you know, sometimes we do double up, sometimes we do buy one, get one free, sometimes we do price drops. Put that code in every time. And you just see the magic happen. I mean, probably me, because I'm a bit mischievous. I'd probably put the code in at the end, because I'd get all excited about how much money's just dropped off in front of my eyes. But obviously, you know, you can put it in the beginning, and then you see the discount prices right from the start when you go through the website.
Sorry, I missed a few of the questions earlier. We did answer, Grimmy, about the apples, didn't we? Appletini?
Yeah, Appletini, yeah.
And Neil, I missed one of your pictures, apparently. The well that Derbyshire people decorated with plants. Where did I miss that?
It'll be there. Scanning through.
Sorry, Neil.
It's nice to see all these pictures, though. I mean, brilliant to see all different pictures come in. And it's good when we see pictures come in of things you bought from us, obviously, like the Appletini, I don't know, just all the different things. Some of the lilies, for example, the sort of geranium rosettes you send us pictures of, things like Sunbeckias. It's kind of just reassuring. So
Neil's right, he actually sent in 5 pictures. Sorry, Neil.
You're better than me at technology.
Yeah, I did scroll along.
Ooh,
so can we just,
this is good. Wow.
Look at that well.
What? Did you make that? What are we looking at here?
That looks stunning.
This is incredible.
Neil, just give us a bit more info about that.
What, how's this come about? Have you made this?
He said it's plant leaves, Neil said. So he said, including a photo of what Derbyshire residents use plant leaves for this time of year.
Oh, it's like a sort of annual thing that villagers and people do.
Neil.
That is mind-blowing.
Can we just say it again? So that's plant leaves.
Wait.
I mean, Neil, absolutely amazing. So can we just see that again, Matt, one final time? Sorry. Because I know what you said, you didn't realise, did you, Adam?
No, I wasn't sure what I was kind of looking at to
start with.
If I
get really close, look.
That is phenomenal.
Isn't that amazing?
So just leaves and petals?
Yeah. Phenomenal, Neil. So I'm glad. I'm glad you. I didn't see it. So thank you so much, Neil. Amazing.
There's some. I don't know. I'm not sure it is, but there's another festival somewhere in the world where they have all these carnival floats, and again they're completely smothered in flowers, just all everywhere, and it's just mind-blowing.
There's a festival that I go to in Spain, actually, in Sitges, and they do a big. The streets are covered in petals.
Have you ever fancied doing the tomato one they do in Spain? They have that tomato one, don't they? Where they just, everywhere you go, they just pelt people with tomatoes.
Yeah, I'd like to. Right, we've got the details on the screen for the hang on, let me give it to you. The Fatsia japonica castor oil. Been really, really busy today for this one. I mean, it's the size of these right now is incredible when you look at how small that price is. $14.99, but we're 15% off. Brings it down to 12 cents off. These are big, well-established plants, aren't they, Adam?
They are. Just like. Look at the root system. And one thing to note, actually, this plant is dry. It needs a drink. It's dry as bones, this. But you wouldn't know that looking at the top of it, because I'm going to pop it back in the pot because it's got a bit of a dusty root there. It's not even flagging, the slightest bit. I mean, it's not drooping.
And let's be honest, there's so many times this year when, I'm sure you're the same at home, you walk out in the garden on an evening and you look and so many plants look like they cling on to life because they've dried out. This is so robust. And even, it is fully winter hardy. We had a few questions about that. Yes, it is winter hardy. I will be honest, on a really cold day when we've had like a really severe frost, they do droop, don't they? That's my impression. They look really like wilted and sad. Yeah. But the moment the temperatures warm up, they just bounce back to life, don't they?
Yeah, they can look like they're a goner on one of those really cold mornings. But yeah, they're amazing. I've got 2 of these. I'm glad I've got 2 of these. I've got one sort of in a border, and this border, on one side there's lawn, on the back side edge of it there's a path on my garage. One side faces north, one south, and I've noticed slightly different variegation. The one in the sunnier side has got the more pronounced variegation, and the one north facing has got less. But they still look glorious. They're just so impressive. And each leaf will be unique. Completely and utterly unique. I just adore these.
And we've got 3 different Fatsias on the nursery. We've got the camouflage, we've got the solid green variety, the traditional one, and we've got the spider's web. But I always think the spider's web, it's got a bit of an edge to it, hasn't it?
It has, although I do want to get the camouflage, because I've got the green one. I've got a plain green one at home. I've got 2 of these. I want the set. I want the triple. I want the camouflage.
But again, they are easy, fully winter hardy, pretty much all soil types. Adam was saying even clay soil.
Good for shade, good for sun.
Yeah, they don't care, do they?
No, good for containers.
And great for pots.
Yeah.
In fact, I stayed at it was a B&B. and the room I had a little outside sort of like courtyard area, and they had one of these, and the plant was massive, but when I looked at the pot it was in, it was in this pathetic pot.
Well, Stu's wife, Sam, she has got one of these growing in a pot. She sent the picture this week. In fact, Stu sent her out in the garden.
Sorry, yes.
To do the live. We did kind of a WhatsApp live reporting thing on it, and it was brilliant. And that wasn't in a huge pot, but and Stu said it just keeps producing more and more and kind of more leaves.
So it's a very easy, reliable plant that looks beautiful all year round, and we have got a phenomenal price today, $12.74 for you club members, $14.99 if you're not. Don't forget, you can order on our website, YouGarden.com. You can give us a call, 0844 502 0050. Now, we've also got one of the most beautiful climbers for you right now. And I cannot believe the price of this one. I know.
£12.74?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, for the
not for this one.
Jasminoides, climbing star jasmine. Yeah, on the trellis. And this, I mean, Adam,
You need to see the full. I need to move that way so you can see the whole size of this.
Look at the size.
I need to put this behind.
I'm not being funny, Adam. We do a smaller one, don't we, in the 9 centimetre pot?
This is huge. Look at it.
Yeah, it's massive. It's huge. I know.
All the work that's gone into that, Sean, as well, to get it to that size. And if you took it off that trellis work, it'd probably be a couple of metres long.
And it's $12.74 for club members. That is absolutely ridiculous, seriously.
And, I do like the fragrance on that. You must have one of these.
I do have one of these.
Yeah.
Now, mine, I'll be honest, mine took a couple of years to get to this size. Really busy today, by the way. Now, I've had mine about 3 years, and it's not that much bigger than this.
Oh, really? Well, that's weird, because where I used to live in Bishop Stortford, and I haven't lived there for 7 years, I planted one of these at the side of our front door, and you know what? I planted it, there was this little square of soil, but basically we had our front door, next door neighbours built a little porch extension at the side, so we had this little square of soil in a corner. It was bone dry, it was solid clay. I never thought anything would grow in it, and I planted one of these 20 odd years on. It's still there, Sean.
Really?
With the new people that live there. It's gone through all the winters that we've had over the last 20 years. Cold, mild, wet, dry, whatever. Still looks fantastic. Flowers its socks off. Evergreen all the year through. If I drive past there occasionally, as I do in the winter time, a lot of the leaves has gone a lovely kind of reddish colour. They're just amazing. Amazing plants.
Mine's in a pot, so it's maybe just taking a while to get going. But it is one of the few climbers in the UK that are evergreen, because I always think I love climbers, I love my clematis and things, but a lot of clematis in the winter, they look dreadful. You've just got straggly woody stems and
blowing in the wind, looking sad,
and you want to chop it back, but you've got to wait till the end of February and things. These are evergreen, and as Adam said, they do actually change colour in the winter, so you get these lovely kind of red and bronze tones. They flower all summer long, they're fragrant, and they are winter hardy. So as a climber, it's got so much to offer, and that price today, $12.74 for this size. I'm not being funny, but that's easy £25 worth, isn't it?
It is.
Easily.
I mean, I'm going to say to you now, for £12.74, if you've got an archway, if you've got an arbour, if you've got something you want to cover, for that price, I would buy 2 of these. And I would plant one either side, and just grow them up from either side and get them to meet in the middle.
Can we just say we are exceptionally busy today? The prices are amazing. Don't leave it too long. A lot of, not all the offers are going to stay at these prices. Don't think, I'll order in 3 weeks' time or whatever. Get this in your basket. That is, as a present, Adam, as well.
Oh,
you imagine.
Yeah. In fact, you'd almost think, goodness me, they must have spent £30-40 buying this for me.
A high-end garden centre, that could easily be £30-odd.
Even more than that.
In flower.
Yeah, definitely.
Agree.
The fact it's been grown on that trellis work, it's in that huge 19 centimetre pot. It's getting onto a metre tall, to be honest.
Do you know what? I just had a moment there, because I don't know, we on a morning, we work as a team to bring all the plants in, and I just had a moment there thinking, hang on, have we brought the wrong one?
Yeah, that's exactly what I thought as well.
Yeah. But no, that is it, because that is a 19 centimetre pot.
Yeah, you will not. I'm going to put my neck on the block here and say you're not going to find anywhere else for a plant this size in a 19 centimetre pot delivered to you free of charge for £12.74. I just do not know anywhere else that could be doing that today at that price.
Well, I totally agree. Obviously, we've only got a certain amount of stock. But if you want it, $12.74 for club members. That's the size that you're going to get. Amazing. I loves a sunny spot, we should say. Really wants full sun.
Yeah, I'm just going to throw something else into the mix here as well, because you know, if you had one of those £5 vouchers,
yeah, which you get if you become a club member, by the way, you
can get it down to £7, £7.24. Yeah. That's laughable.
And don't forget, if you're not a club member, you can join today. It's £10 for the year, and you'll get a 15% discount on all of your orders when it comes to plants, pots and containers from the live show. So do bear that in mind. Now, the best seller today has been the brand new Pansy Top Wave. You have gone absolutely crazy for this. I'm not surprised at all. So this is the world's first full-size trailing pansy. When we say full size, the flowers are full size. So unlike the Cool Wave, where you get flowers that are sort of between a viola and a pansy size, these are the world's first full size pansies. They're going to flower for 10 months of the year. So the only time they really die back are July and August. They're pre-planted, they're already made up for you. You've got about 7 plants in each of the baskets. All you need to do is hang them up. And if you don't want to use them as hanging baskets, you can use them as pots. The hangers actually do unclip, but we are phenomenally busy for those, and they are working out less than £11.50 per basket, $4.50, 230. Don't forget to get the free delivery, to get the discounts, you've got to use that offer code YGTV 3425.
Trackless Bowman behind them, actually, growing up the wall there.
Yes.
Looking very good.
We have had some great prices in deals.
I can't get my head around the fact that was £12.74.
I know.
It's just bonkers for in a 19 centimetre pot. That tall on trellis, a metre high.
We have had, I think you'll agree, an exceptional show, but we are very busy actually this Sunday. So thank you, and thank you if you're a brand new customer as well. Right, got a bit of a lucky dip for you now. It's a perennial collection, 9 plants in 9 centimetre pots, $16.99 is that club price, $19.99 if you are. This gives you an idea of what you may get. We've had great feedback. Was it Gillian that bought these? I think it was, wasn't it?
Yeah, on the shelf. So £1.80 was it, if my memory serves me right?
£1.88.
£1.88.
Yeah.
£1.88.
And that's a Verbena bonariensis, so that could be one of your plants. Look at the roots. I mean,
easily go to your local garden centre. That's in a 2 litre pot, $6.99.
Yeah,
$7.99.
What else?
How about a plant for shade?
Yeah.
That looks, even keeps its leaves pretty much all the year through. Look at the size of it. I mean, it's not just. I mean, if it was just one of these little single, if it was just, say this, Sean, if it was, I'll try and separate that off. Yeah. If it was just that little kind of stem there, in a 9 centimetre pot for £1.88,
right. I mean,
I would think, well, that's good.
It's almost a price you would be paying for plug plants, isn't it?
Yeah, but I mean, look at this. This is a multi-stemmed plant in that size. Look at this hollyhock. Not just like it's not just like it's got to the stage where you've got these little central leaves here. We're not saying here, let's do it. Let's fold these leaves down. So we're not saying this is the hollyhock you're going to get, look, just with the little leaves like that in a 9 centimetre pot. This is the hollyhock you're going to get. With these great big thumping, great big leaves. It'll have a beautiful root system on it as well. Look at that, really well established roots on there. It's a Chater's double as well, so a really beautiful double type of hollyhock here. Look at this coreopsis. This coreopsis here, this is absolutely typical of what you're going to get in this lucky dip mix. It needs a bit of a drink, but other than that, it's perfect.
So it's amazing. So Gillian got hers earlier on in the week. We did have a quick question from Mauricia. Oleander, did you cut the dead flowers off? Yes, you do.
Yeah, I always do.
I always do. Yeah. And then you're going to get more. Yes, somebody's already said this. Just with oleanders, obviously every part of the plant you cannot eat. And sometimes when you cut the flowers off, it releases a bit of a sap, doesn't it?
Yeah, wear gloves.
So wear gloves, just protect your skin, that's all.
Wear gloves when you deadhead them.
Yeah. But yes, definitely take the dead flowers off, then you'll get more, particularly as the weather's still hot. So that is a brilliant selection. All of these will be, perennials that will come back every single year, giving you flowers, I think Adam was saying, from like May time into September, October, different heights, different fragrances. All of them have got their own numbers.
I have, yeah, each one, you've got the name of it. There's even a little QR code as well that you can scan. And
so you're going to, if you need a bit of help where to plant them, how big they're going to grow, all the information's on the pot.
And they've all got product numbers. So if you just go on the YouGarden website, enter the product number, then straight away it'll give you like a kind of a little précis of like kind of, you know, what they are, and then you can go into a bigger description underneath, and then even further down it'll give you all the cultural instructions. It'll tell you where to plant and all that kind of thing. So yeah, it's all there for you.
But it is about value, and you know, I was saying earlier, I love summer bedding, of course, and you do, Adam.
I do. I've got loads. I grow it all myself.
Yeah, and they're your annuals that give you colour all summer long, but when the frosts come, then they're pretty much, well, most of them die down and that's it. But perennials, it's an investment for years to come. They come back every year and get bigger and stronger. And I always think perennials are the backbone to a garden, aren't they?
Definitely, without doubt. The thing is, you might be getting a little bit older, or you might know somebody who's getting a little bit older and they still want a garden. And for years they've grown bedding plants, but now they're finding it too much. They're finding it too expensive. B, they're finding it too much to grow. And C, it's too much to water. So now it might be time to turn that into a permanent planted area with perennials that will come back year after year. Have you got? Do you know somebody who's moved? Have you got children or grandchildren or friends or somebody just moved into a brand new house and they've got that bare area of soil, nothing in there, just a path, a patio. This would be fantastic. Immediately, what they've got here, they've got an herbaceous border in a box delivered. And this is a brilliant time of year to get things planted. The soil is really, really warm. Just make sure it's really moist before you plant. And within 10 days, roots will establish, and some of these will even grow away and flower a little bit more. Yeah. In fact, this verbena, I would not be surprised, because you know how quick verbena grows, Sean. I would not be surprised. If by the end of September, you had some flowers on this, even this year. So it
is about, say, getting colour in your garden for 7 months of the year, every single year for many, many years to come. And that is just phenomenal value. So it's at £1.88 per plant on that one.
£1.88?
I know.
Yeah, so you go to a church bazaar or a jumble sale or a boot sale. I mean, this hookah, they charge you £3 for a boot sale for that. £1.88.
In fact, you're giving me some ideas. Because I run a garden club in my village, I'm thinking I could buy these, grow them on, and make a fortune for the plant club. Right, we've only got about 25 minutes left. Thank you to everyone that's been placing orders today. I'll say it one more time. Use the offer code YGTB3425. That unlocks all the discounts, all the promotions, but it will give you free postage on everything on the show, and that includes plants, compost, products like strolls, all the pots and containers. But it will give you your discounts and free delivery as well. But we're going to move on to daffodils next, our mixed daffodil collection, and you're going to get a wonderful selection of different types of daffodils. So you can see there yellows and doubles, and you've got oranges, you've got creams in there, and I always think springtime isn't spring without daffodils, is it? Oh,
definitely not. But I'm going to make a little admission to you now, because I did say earlier on that John, my other half, he always coordinates bulbs when he plants them. John would never plant bulbs in a mixed group. And I'm not normally bothered, but there's one thing I always hated in the past was mixed daffodils. I never liked those bags of mixed daffodils until last year. I was making a video for something, and I'll be honest, I didn't get them from YouGarden, but I needed a bag of daffodil bulbs, so I just went down the road to a local shop and they had a big bag of mixed daffodils, which I planted. And you know what, it's the best thing I ever did, Sean, and I'll tell you for why. Because rather than just getting one type of daffodil that all came and died in the same period, in this mix I had daffodils that kept flowering at different times. So I had some gorgeous plain yellow ones that were the first to flower, and then 3 or 4 weeks later I had those ones with the pink trumpet in the middle, which were the last to flower. And I thought, this is great. And I had a few of the double ones, because they're always quite late as well, and they're fragrant.
And they're lovely.
Yeah, so I'm a convert. I am a convert now to mixed daffodils or narcissus.
Now, we should say we really pride ourselves on the quality of our bulbs here at YouGarden. So, when you buy bulbs from the supermarket or some garden centres, you don't really know what you get, and then you open up the bag and you find that some of them are squishy.
Not good.
Not good. If they're squishy, they're just going to rot. You might be disappointed with the size. These are all graded, so they're known as size 12 to 14, so they're big, strong bulbs.
And if you take a whiff, You're not smelling mildew or
No.
mould or kind of horrible smell. If they smell like that, leave them. If you ever see bulbs anywhere and they've got that kind of bluey green mildew round the base of the bulb, avoid them as well. These are quality bulbs, and as Sean said, because they are the size they are, there's guaranteed to be a flower already in the middle of all of these bulbs. All you've got to do is put them in the ground. Simple as that. And planting depth, very straightforward for bulbs. If the bulb, for instance, is 1 inch high, you need 3 times as much soil on top. So inch high, 3 inches on top. Half inch high, what's that going to be?
1.5.
Yes, on top. So that's how you can do it. Really, really simple and straightforward.
And do you know what? I plant bulbs really quickly. I mean, I planted probably about over 1,000 bulbs last year. I really did. But I don't bother too much into. I do it with my eye, don't you?
You don't have to be rocket science about it, do you?
Because actually, if you plant it, you know, Adam's saying, say if it's 1 inch bulb, you plant it 3 inches deep. But if you planted it 2 and a bit,
or 4 inches,
it would still.
Yeah, of course it would.
Yeah.
It would still come up. It wouldn't be a problem.
And it's always pointer side up. But again, even if it was on its side a bit, you know, they tend to invite themselves, don't they? Always let bulbs die down. So after they've flowered, always take the dead flowers off, but you let the foliage die down, and that way it refeeds the bulb and it comes back next year. And they do naturalise, so you're going to get more and more. But the value on those is amazing. You might even want to order a few bags of those. And I always think with daffodils, you can start planting those in September.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. You can get those in the ground now.
Yeah, I know we said like tulips, leave them a bit, but daffodils, you know, it's the 20. Is it the 24th today? So these will probably arrive sometime at the end of next week, and you can pretty much start planting.
And just remember as well, if you want to plant daffodils in pots, we've got 2 fantastic helix planters as well. Was it like £8.68 or so?
I think it was £8.48.
£8.48. I know it was something like that.
But yeah.
Oh, £8.48. Good memory. Yeah, £8.48 for 2 of these, and these
They'd be great in there.
These would be absolutely perfect to go in these
Actually,
as well.
do you know what? I think you've got enough there to fill both containers.
Easily, no problem. So probably a few left over. And then what you can do then, of course, is once they're finished flowering, because they're in pots, you can just stick the pot out the way somewhere. You don't have to put it with the leaves dying down either.
Good idea, Adam.
But no, I am definitely a convert to mixed daffs.
Yeah.
I was a bit sort of sniffy about them before, but I so enjoyed that long, continued display of different daffodils in that one area.
Do you know what? I'm actually feeling excited. I'm going to buy those. Yeah, I'm actually, because I love springtime, so I'm going to really make the effort to cram my garden with even more bulbs this year.
I think the thing is as well, the extra excitement of spring bulbs is because we've been so deprived of colour and flower for so long, they're even more extra special, aren't they? Because they're the first to kind of flower, so it gives them that really special kind of place in your memory.
And we do, Adam and I do get a bit down in the winter. We're not winter people, are we?
We're not, no.
You know, I like Christmas and New Year, and then after that I'm just like, oh God, just let's, you know. I mean, January, if I could disappear for January, I would do.
I call January a month of Mondays.
Yeah, yeah, you're so right. But when the bulbs, when they start flowering, you know, end of February, March, normally March time, depending where you live in the country, it's just joyous, and you realise you've made it through yet another winter.
Yay.
So if you'd like to go for those, give us a call or go on the website. The other ones that we've got for you now are the anemones, St Bridget, 50 bulbs for $11.99. And now these, I would say anemones are quite unusual because they repeat flower. Most bulbs you get one flower, don't you?
You do.
These repeat, don't they?
I've grown these and the decaying ones as well. And yeah, these are a bit different. First of all, the colour range is spectacular.
Isn't it? That blue almost looks unveiled, doesn't it?
It does. And
Yeah.
I like that some have got green centre, some have got the dark black centre. And look at the edge of the petals, the way they're kind of shaped. And ferny foliage on these. They get to probably about 12, 15 inches tall. They have a flowering period late spring into early summer, but then they flower sporadically throughout the late summer. I've even seen sometimes flower in September or October, just send up the odd flower because they feel like it. Really, really unusual kind of plants, these. They spread as well, great for containers. They make gorgeous cut flowers. They were my grandma's. My grandma used to adore these as cut flowers. And when you see the actual flowers themselves, they're like satin. Really, really lustrous, gorgeous, stunning kind of colours. grow them somewhere sunny, well drained. You can grow them in the ground, you can grow them in containers. They'll last for many, many years. When you get them, they'll kind of look a little bit like canine teeth.
Yeah, they do. They're weird-looking things, aren't they?
They do, but make sure that the fang bit is pointing downwards.
It's a bit like...
and the top bit is flat, and soak them. Give them a good soak for 24 hours before you plant them. That way it'll plump them up really, really nicely. And they only need to be a couple of inches deep, not that deep at all, these. And you know, there may even be a possibility that if you get these home and plant them next week, they may even throw up a few leaves, even this side of autumn.
Yeah, if you get, especially if you get mild.
By the end of
September.
October, you might even see a few leaves. They will die off during the winter, but next spring, they'll flower for you and they'll look amazing.
So you're getting all 50 of those, 10.19 for club members, 600 451. And then we have also got the Piscinia, which now I have grown these, but I grew them in little pots for the pub tables that I look after. But I'm definitely going to order some of these from the garden this year. The flowers, I love the colour, that little stripe of blue.
You know, again, where I used to live in Bishop Stortford, I lived in a Victorian terrace cottage that had been there since 1849. I remember when they built it. And we had loads and loads of these growing in the front garden along with scillas. And every spring, Sean, late winter, they just came up en masse. And they came up in all sorts of silly places. We had a gravel path. They used to come along the edge of the gravel path. They came up in the neighbours' gardens. They just came up everywhere. Only about 3 or 4 inches tall. Last for a good couple of weeks or so, and they are just divine. They're beautiful.
They remind me a bit of a cross between like a hyacinth and a bluebell, but obviously a lot smaller.
They're very similar family. Yeah. So yeah, exactly. But look at the flower there. You've got that almost sort of like wax-like flower there, and then the little kind of stripe on each of the petals. These will seed about. They'll multiply in 2 ways. You'll get little bulbils that will develop from the main one, and they'll give you extra flowers, and also they set seed and they will create more plants from setting seed
really
as well. Really naturalised. Great for lawns, great for gravelled areas. If you've got an old patio and you've just got some little cracks and crevices in the patio, you could plant them in between the gaps there. Put them in your hanging baskets, pots, troughs, practically anywhere you can plant these. They're amazing.
And you're going to get 60 as well, Adam.
So again, give them a good soak. Soak them for 12 to 24 hours before you plant them. I'm just blown away today by these club discount prices
as well. And they normally flower sort of like February, March?
Yeah, late winter. So late winter, February, March time, they'll be flowering for you. You sort of see the little pointy shoots come up, and then on those sort of first sort of sunny days of late winter, early spring, for a good couple of weeks or so, they'll just nod in the breeze. And the good thing about them as well is because they are small, once they die down really quick. So
yes, they do. So you don't end up with lots of messy leaves.
No, nothing like that at all.
And the bulbs are small.
Tiny.
So they're really easy and quick to plant as well.
They only need to be about that deep. Because
I was going to say you could probably use your finger.
Yeah,
to do that
exactly. Yeah, or an end of a bamboo cane and and don't even worry. I mean, we all say pointy side up, but with little bulbs like that, if they do kind of drop into the ground sideways or the other way, the bulbs will orientate themselves. So once the roots start to grow, the roots grow what's called geotropically. So the roots will grow towards the ground, and as they hook into the ground, they will pull the bulb to the upright position. So
bulbs are very
don't even get stressed about that.
Giving, aren't they?
They are
easy.
Right,
this is our favourites table. We do need to remind you urgently of the pink agapanthus. It's the first time we've ever had a pink agapanthus. It is pretty exciting, I have to say. And you're going to get all 3 of those for $21.22 for club members, $24.97 if you're not a club member. And although the plants are not huge now, it's a great time to plant them, and they should obviously flower next year.
Yeah, I would imagine so, Sean, definitely, because these are well-established plants. Hot, sunny, well-drained shelter position, poor soil. That's what they like. Plant them in containers, keep them really, really cramped. Sean and I are suggesting that all 3 of these could go in a 30-centimetre pot.
Oh, one of the helix planters would be okay, wouldn't it?
Yeah, put them in there as well. Water them, obviously, but don't worry about feeding them. If you're going to plant them in the garden, you could do the same thing. thing you could put. Don't put them in one of our nice helix planters. Find an old naff pot that you've got left over in the shed that you don't use for anything else. Plant them in that pot and then plunge the pot into the ground. Obviously, make sure it's got drainage holes on the bottom. And again, you'll keep them really, really pot bound, and that will encourage them to flower. These have got quite a long flowering period. I read up and it said they can flower from midsummer for a good sort of 6 weeks, perhaps even a couple of months, sending out those flower spikes. They can get to 60 centimetres tall. And all I want to do is, I just want to see 3 of these. I want to see 3 blue ones. I want to see 3 white ones all flowering in the same little patch.
That would be amazing.
Because I just think pink, white and blue agapanthus flowering simultaneously, that would be a sight to behold, wouldn't it? And it's always good. I mean, I've been gardening for 40 years, and it's always fantastic when something new you've never ever seen comes along before. I think I said to you, Sean, last week, you know, I hope I live to see the day when I'm going to see a true blue rose. You know, a rose the colour of ceanothus.
Oh, yeah.
It will happen one day, but at the moment, whoever thought we'd get pink agapanthus? But there we go, blush pink, and it is pink.
I'd like to see a yellow geranium. I know there was a yellow one, but it wasn't. Do you remember? It wasn't yellow, was it?
Yeah, and also they did try yellow busy Lizzie, but it was really feeble, and it kind of didn't really have any vigour to it.
The yellow geranium was like a real wishy-washy.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. But this is pink.
Yeah, it's a proper pink.
Proper pink.
But it's been really busy for those. So if you're... as gardeners, we love new and exciting varieties, don't we? You know, imagine the excitement, as Adam was saying, when that flowers next year and you see the first pink agapanthus in your garden. So if you want to go for those, 561 322, and they are on offer. They're normally nearly £39. They're on offer today, £24.97, £21.22 if you're a club member. Right, the Acer you've loved as well. It's a Oshie Palmatum Acer there, and it is only £8.49 for club members. And one of the prettiest acers that, you know, we've got about, I think, 50, 60 different types of acers here at YouGarden. This is one of the prettiest in terms of the colour, the beautiful dissected leaves. It's a very delicate looking plant that is going to add so much interest. And, you know, we were saying earlier, acers look great with ferns. They look great with, I think, grasses. They look fantastic in their water features. They really are a beautiful, beautiful plant. And not only do they look great throughout the summer, but in autumn time when the leaves change colour, there's another fantastic chapter of beauty.
There's always interest with these, Sean, isn't there? And this is another plant that's pretty in pink, to be honest, because you've got the pinks, you've got the greens, you've got the creams. And even in wintertime, when the leaves drop on these, the branches look great because they've got a very delicate sort of branch system. When that's covered in frost or a light fall of snow, they still look lovely. And this one as well has actually got quite nice coloured stems. They're sort of a pinky colour. Then they go down to a lovely kind of olively green. So just imagine these when we've had a sort of a shower on a winter's day and the branches are wet, then the sun comes through and shines through them. Even then, they'll look lovely. But I tell you what, don't worry about what the temperature is during the winter. Don't worry if it's -5, -10, -15. These are very, very frost hardy plants. Next spring, they'll come back. And when the leaves first come out on this, they're pretty much just shrimp pink when they first open out.
Aren't they?
It's beguiling actually when you see it in the
spring. When an acer comes back into leaf, it happens so quickly, doesn't it? It literally, you know, 1 week it's, you know, just bare stems, and within a couple of weeks suddenly it's back to looking amazing.
You just get to that point where the weather's just warmed up enough, the day's just got to that long enough length, and then you say boom, they come out, and they're kind of double-ended plants as well, because they look as good first thing in the spring as they do last thing in autumn as well. And then, of course, they still colour change even in the middle part of the year.
Amazing value, because it is one of the more unusual acers out there, known as Ioshi. 511 639 999 849 if you are one of our 45,000 club members. I'm just going to say one final time, to get the free delivery, remember it's free postage on everything on the show, but you do need to use offer code YGTV 3425. Really important. You use that code, press apply, and that will give you all of those amazing discounts and free postage as well. Right, you've loved our hydrangea. This is the Aspera hot chocolate. And we were saying, you wouldn't even recognise, if you looked at the foliage, you would not recognise that as a hydrangea, would you?
I think it was a houseplant. It's got a bit of houseplanty kind of look to it, but the good thing about it is it does this really weird thing, because you've kind of got this leaf here which is green on top, and then you flick it round and it's purple underneath. Look at that, and it just changes colour. just like that. So that's a great feature on it. The stems are beautiful as well. The little petioles here are a lovely, gorgeous red colour. And this is a hydrangea that can get to 3 to 4 metres tall. And then when it does and it flowers, it has these sort of pink flower heads, but they're flushed with a kind of a bluey purple as well.
I know.
So just imagine those on top of this incredible foliage, 3 or 4 metres tall. This is a statement hydrangea.
And fully winter hardy. We just say with all hydrangeas, keep them moist, don't let them dry out. But this is investment for many, many years. Hydrangeas are long lived as well, aren't they?
Yeah, they are. Yeah, they're going for donkey's years, hydrangeas. I mean, my earliest memory of hydrangeas, I remember when I was a kid, we used to go to a place called Wharton-on-the-Naze for weekends away and holidays. And I always remember, as you got near the coast, you see all those bungalows with the kind of the pink and the blue mop head kind of type.
That's all I remember.
That's all I remember as
pink,
hydrangea.
blue and white mop heads.
But now the range is so huge, and this one is particularly spectacular. There you go. Look at the little pinky blue flowers there. So just imagine those with that chocolate-coloured foliage underneath on a shrub 3 to 4 metres tall. Nobody's going to walk past this. Everybody's going to stop and say, what is that? Where did you get that? It's going to be a statement piece, this one.
Well, we are really busy today. Massive savings. Honestly, it's one of the best shows we've done in terms of value. It really is. And something for absolutely everybody. So if you want to get that, normally £30, down to $14.99, $12.74 is your discount club price. Right, also, we have got some beautiful tulips. These are known as flaming flags. We are semi-tulips. Hold off planting them. Store them in a cool, dark place. But start, I'd say end of October, November is when I normally plant my tulips.
And we are saying, and this isn't, we're not trying to say this just to get you to buy them now, but we are saying, get hold of your tulips now, because quite often there's a finite supply of tulips this time of year, and a lot of the really very nice varieties like this can go quickly.
They did last year.
Yeah. They go out very quickly, and then you might suddenly find come November, all that's left is the yellow and the reds and the not so quite dramatic ones. But if you want these, they will store beautifully, just somewhere cool and dark and dry. Plant them in November. That way they're not going to succumb to the tulip fire, which is a possibility. And then next spring, goodness me, April into May, these beautiful upright stems, very, very lovely green, verdant sort of upright tulip leaves. And then of course you get this flower head that stands proud above that with this sort of flecking of purple, almost like rippled ice cream sort of patination coming through these flower buds. They're just going to look this good for about 3 or 4 weeks.
I think they're beautiful.
They're stunning, aren't they?
Really are, and I can see why so many of you have ordered those. 600 034 11.99, and of course postage is included on everything as long as you use our offer code. And then finally, do you know what? One thing that I always advise, I've got quite a few friends that have got fairly small gardens. A lot of my friends have got new houses and the gardens tend to be quite small. And I always say to them, those just getting into gardening, I say, look, if you've got a smaller garden, make sure that every single plant in that garden earns its place. Because if you've got lots of plants in your garden, I mean, I'll give peony an example. I love peonies, but they flower for what, 2-3 months? Say 2-3 weeks?
Yeah.
And that's it.
That's it.
And then you're left with foliage that isn't particularly attractive, and then they die down to nothing in the winter. This is a plant that looks good every single day of the year and is always interesting and always changing.
Well, I was going to say it's a good doer, but this is an excellent doer, a premium doer in the garden, this one, because it just ticks every box. It's evergreen, it's ever red, it's hardy, it's drought tolerant, it will grow in full sun, part sun, it will grow in shade, clay soils, sandy soils, slow growing, compact, doesn't need pruning, disease resistant, flowers, it has berries, it will grow in a windy position. You can grow it in pots, you can grow it in the main garden if you want to. Long lived, easy to care for. What more could you ask?
I know.
I really don't. I don't know what else you could want from this plant, to be honest. Apart from if it made your dinner and made the bed.
It just is so reliable. And there are many different ways of planting this and using it in your garden. Yes, it can make a lovely small hedge, of course.
Oh, that'd be lovely. Yeah. I like that. If you're fed up with lavender, I mean, lavender's beautiful, but if you're fed up with lavender because it flops a bit and stuff, if you want a more of an upright, well-behaved hedge that you never need to clip, to be honest.
No.
Go for this. Go for a row of these.
And only $10.19 for club members today. And don't forget, if you're not a club member, you can join today. It's going to cost you £10 a year on auto renewal. You get so many amazing, amazing benefits. But we are going to leave you the details of a UK exclusive for YouGarden. I mean, this is a big, big story. We can offer you right now the world's first full-sized training pansy, planted up in the baskets, looking like this.
And only us.
And only us, yeah?
Yeah.
It's a UK exclusive.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
Called Top Wave. Some of you will know the Pansy Cool Wave. It was the world's first trailing pansy, but the pansies are smaller. This Top Wave produces full-size pansies. And when will it not flower, Adam? That is the question.
It will not flower for 8 weeks, July and August.
Oh, amazing.
Summer holiday time. It will go on holiday itself for a couple of months, and then the rest of the year it will keep flowering. Deadhead, feed and water, they will tumble down to about 40 centimetres eventually, and it will just give you that complete display for so long.
And the quality of the baskets that you're getting today, they've already been grown. They're already in flower. You know, club members, they're working at £11.50, just under. I think it's £11.47 per basket. If you don't want those baskets, by the way, you can unclip these. So if you want to say, just take those off, look, they come off nice and easily, and you can actually have them as pots as well. We are out of time, and you can still order after the show. As ever, use that offer code. That gives you the free postage. That gives you all the discounts. Adam, an absolute pleasure as ever.
Thanks, Sean. Enjoyed it. Good day today.
Yeah, you're going to do some gardening this afternoon.
I am. I'm going to leave you to do TikTok this afternoon.
Yes, so if you want to watch TikTok, you need to download the TikTok app. I will be live from 1 o'clock onwards. We always do completely different offers on TikTok, and it's a bit different.
More fast-paced.
Yes. But thank you to Adam. Thank you to each and every one of you. We'll see you soon.
Thank you.
Take care.